Chapter 526. Alright, please wait for a moment. I'll rush your dishes right away. The waiter instantly beamed with joy when he heard Lin Ray's order. To him, the more Lin Ray ordered, the more he earned. Thus, how could he not be happy with a rich man like Lin Ray? Then, the waiter turned around and disappeared from everyone's sight, entering the kitchen in a flash. At this moment, Lin Ray was sitting at a large table that could seat 7 to 8 people. Next to him were Blood 15 and the other members of the Azura clan. At this moment, Linley was still doing the same thing as before. He instantly used the system to check the information of the people coming and going. Everyone, regardless of whether they were gods or saints, was useless in front of the system. All concealment was non-existent. Just as Lin Ray was checking on the people outside, a familiar thing in his mind vibrated. The clone is nearby? That's right, the familiar thing in Lin Ray's mind was really a strand of the system's clone's primordial spirit. Lin Ray also had a strand of primordial spirit in the system's mind so that he could easily sense the other party. Just now, that strand of primordial spirit moved, which meant that the clone was nearby. With a thought, he started to transmit his location to that strand of primordial spirit. Here, 3 miles to the east. Di Shi Tian, who was walking on the street, suddenly heard a sentence in his mind. Come quickly, I'm waiting for you. Di Shi Tian revealed a trace of a smile. Then, his figure became illusory and he disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already at the restaurant Lin Ray was at. He took off his mask and the murderous aura on his body was instantly concealed. Then, he walked into the restaurant like a normal person, found Lin Ray, and sat down. At this moment, the moment he saw someone sit down, the young man looked over angrily. However, when he saw the person's face, he stood rooted to the ground in a daze. It wasn't just the boys. Lin Tian and Lu Ying were also like the boys as they stood rooted to the ground in a daze. At this moment, Sakura, who saw this scene, smiled and said, "You don't have to be so surprised. My name is Sakura. As for the details, let me tell you." As he said that, the waiter just happened to serve the wine. Then, without saying a word, Sakura directly grabbed a jar of wine and started to gulp it down. Alright, I'll talk to you about this in the future. All you need to know is that I am him, and he is me. With that said, Lin Ray couldn't help but reach out and pat Sakura's shoulder as he asked with a smile, "How is it? Is that heavenly kill alright? Did they make things difficult for you?" Alas. Hearing the question of the original body, Sakura sighed and said, no, but they want me to be their holy son. They also want me to help them subdue the other 7 sects and merge them into one. After that, they will successfully squeeze into the top forces. Oh. Hearing Sakura's words, Lin Ray was slightly surprised but quickly returned to his senses. What are you thinking? Lin Ray didn't want to interfere too much with his clone. After all, he had his own consciousness and Lin Ray didn't want him to become his tool or puppet. I don't know. I came out to gain experience and requested to give them an answer 100 years later. Looking at his clone, Lin Ray said, "Remember, your conscience is the most important. As long as you want to do it, then do it. There's nothing to hesitate about. You're not fighting alone. You still have me, and you still have the 9th Heaven Xuanzong Sect, understand?" With that, Lin Ray took a big gulp of wine and burped. His face was slightly rosy. At this moment, hearing Lin Ray's words, the clone's originally confused expression slowly became clearer. I got it. With that, the two of them took a sip of wine. Lu Ying and the other 2 also looked at this scene in confusion. They didn't know what was going on and could only drink as well. "Young master, someone is secretly investigating. He's a mid-stage god emperor. What should we do? Should we kill him or?" At this moment, Blood 15's voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Ray put the wine jar to his mouth and said, "Kill him to prevent future trouble, no matter who he is. As long as he dares to stare at me, kill him." Whoosh. Hearing Lin Ray's order, Blood 15 and the other 3 who were sitting at the side immediately moved. Soon, Blood 15 came back with a faint smell of blood on his body. Lin Ray didn't say much about this. At this moment, the dishes were served. The waiter came to Lin Ray enthusiastically. When he saw that there were 2 Lin Rays, the waiter automatically thought that they were twins. "Ladies and gentlemen, your dishes are being prepared, please wait for a moment." With that, the waiter put down the dishes on his phone and prepared to leave. At this moment, Lin Ray said, "Put the dishes I ordered on the table next to mine." Okay. I'll do it now." Hearing Lin Ray's words, the waiter looked in Blood 15's direction and walked to the back. Perhaps it was because it was already noon, but the seats were already full, and there were still people coming in one after another. At this moment, a man and a woman walked into the restaurant. Seeing that there were no empty seats, the woman wearing a black veil said, "Little brother, why don't we leave? This place is full." The woman's voice was beautiful and moving. Needless to say, her figure was even more beautiful. However, because she was covered in a large black robe, her appearance and figure couldn't be seen clearly. At that moment, the man following the black-clothed woman had an embarrassed expression when he heard his sister's words. He said without any resentment, "Sister, we've already gone to so many places. You also know that we can't. The Heavenly Tao Conference is imminent and all the major powers have come. Even if we go again, we'll still end up with nowhere to go." As he spoke, the black-clothed man began to scan the interior of the store. At this moment, his gaze fell upon Linley and the others. Then, he said with a joyful expression, "I'm not leaving. Look over there by the window. He still has an empty seat. Let's talk to him about sharing a table." With that, the man didn't wait for the woman to speak and walked toward Lin Ray. Sigh. At this moment, seeing that her little brother was already walking toward that place, she had no choice but to follow. "Brother, do you mind sharing a table?" At this moment, Lin Tian, who was chatting happily with his clone, was interrupted by a voice. Puzzled, Linley turned his head to look, only to see a handsome young man appear in front of him, as well as a woman wearing a black veil. Perhaps because they were very close, Linley could clearly smell the fragrance emanating from the woman's body. For a moment, Lin Ray was stunned. This body fragrance made Lin Ray feel an indescribable feeling all over his body. Lu Ying, who was sitting next to him, snorted coldly after sensing that Lin Ray's body was as thick as his. Okay. Okay, you guys take a seat." After realizing that he had lost his composure, Lin Ray hurriedly pointed to the seats next to him for them to sit down. At this moment, Blood 15's voice sounded in his mind, "Young master, these 2 people are not simple. They're both mid-stage godly emperors. Also, judging by their cultivation technique, it's not simple. You have to be careful." Hearing Blood 15's words, Lin Ray couldn't help but be startled. He looked warily at the 2 people opposite him, his heart filled with shock. They looked about the same age as him, but what Lin Ray didn't expect was that they were already godly emperors. "Okay, I know. Don't worry, eat in peace." Lin Ray believed that as long as he didn't provoke these people, they wouldn't act recklessly. "Wow, this is so delicious. Sister, try it." At this moment, the young man's voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Ray turned his head and saw that the young man was still picking up his chopsticks and eating. Sigh. The black-clothed woman next to him had a helpless look on her face as she said to Linley and the others, I'm sorry. My little brother has been busy ever since he was young. He's like a child and will never grow up. But don't worry. Just treat this meal as an apology for our recklessness." With that, the woman in black nodded to Lin Ray and the others. Her embarrassment could be heard. "Oh, sister, why are you always like this? How old am I?" After hearing his sister's words, the young man put down his chopsticks and introduced himself to Lin Ray and the others. "Hello, I'm Liao Jun. This is my sister, Liao Yuning." With that, the young man continued to eat. At this moment, after hearing the young man's introduction, Lin Rei also said politely, "Hello, I'm Lin Rei, a servant disciple of the immortal sect. This is my wife, Luiying. Beside her are my brothers, Lin Tian. My male brother is Di Shi Tian." After the introductions, everyone knew each other. They didn't hold back and the dishes were served one by one. Lin Rei and the others also began to eat. After learning that Lin Rei was a servant disciple of the immortal sect, Liao Yuning's eyes were filled with vigilance. It wasn't just Liao Yuning. Even Blood 15 was wary of the Liao siblings, afraid that they would do something inappropriate to Lin Rei. The meal was almost finished under everyone's vigilance. As for Lin Li, after eating for a while, he didn't eat anymore. Instead, he drank with Sakura and others. Liao Jun, who was on the side, saw Lin Li and others drinking and insisted on joining them. In the end, there was no other way. The original wine jar was already empty and Liao Jun was already drunk at this moment. "Hee, brother Lin, let me tell you. You're one of my few friends. Although we just met today, I, Liao Jun, have decided that you're my friend." I'm sorry, my brother." At this moment, Liao Yuning hurriedly explained when she saw her brother being so embarrassed. It's fine." Actually, Lin Rei only felt that Liao Jun was simple and not that complicated. Chapter 527. When they were almost done eating, Lin Rei signaled to the young man next to him. He had followed Lin Rei for a long time, so of course, he knew what Lin Rei meant. Then, the young man stood up and walked towards the counter. When Liao Yuning saw the young man going to pay, she quickly stood up and prepared to pay for the meal, but was stopped by Lin Rei. "Miss Liao, don't. After all, there are so many dishes and we ate a lot." Then, the young man took out the money. Seeing this, Liao Yuning struggled for a while and nodded embarrassedly. "How much for 2 tables?" At this moment, the young man took out a few black gold coins and said to the shop owner. In his opinion, a few gold coins were enough for such a small amount. "Okay, I'll calculate it for you now." At this moment, the shop owner saw the young man coming to pay and immediately smiled. Then, he began to calculate the bill. After a while, the shop owner finished calculating and said to the young man, "A total of 106,888 gold coins." "Oh. 106,000. What, 106,888? The young man didn't pay much attention at first and didn't react when he heard the number. But the moment he reacted, the young man clicked his tongue. More than 106,000 gold coins. Damn, is this a meal or gold? Although he didn't care about this small amount of money now, he still cared about this much money. After all, this was just a meal. This customer, you must be joking. You've eaten all the famous dishes in our restaurant. Moreover, the young master said to serve all the specialties in the restaurant. If you don't believe me, this is the bill. You can take a look. Then, the shop owner took out a piece of paper. On it, there were densely packed dishes and 18 jars of wine that he ordered. Seeing this, the young man didn't say anything. He looked at the black gold coins in his hand and smiled bitterly. Then, he took out more than 1,000 black gold coins from his ring and handed it to the shop owner. He said with a pained expression, "This is the cost of the meal and our room. We have reserved these 2 courtyards for a long time." After saying that, the young man directly left. The shop owner who collected the money was also very happy. This was the first time in their shop that they had spent so much money. Even if a famous family came to eat here, they wouldn't be like this. The young man returned to the table and sat down. The wry smile on his face disappeared. Seeing the young man come back, Lin Rei glanced at him and found that something was wrong with the young man, but he didn't ask immediately. Instead, he said to Liao Yuning and Liao Jun, "The green hills do not change, and the clear waters flow forever. We still have matters to attend to. Brother Liao Jun, Miss Liao, let's take our leave. As he spoke, Lin Ray stood up. At the same time, Lin Ray transmitted his voice to Blood 15, who was beside him. You guys continue eating. Don't follow me. It'll be bad if you're discovered by others. With that, Lin Ray nodded at the Liao siblings again. Then, he left the place and walked toward his residence. Seeing Lin Ray's moving figure disappear, Liao Yuning looked at Lin Ray curiously. She couldn't put her finger on it, but she felt that something was wrong. But she didn't think too much about strangers. Looking at her brother who was dead drunk on the table, Liao Yuning shook her head helplessly. Her eyes were filled with heartache. Let's go. If father finds out about this, I'm afraid I'll have to go into seclusion at the Cliff of Reflection again. With that, Liao Yuning gently patted her brother, Liao Jun, but it didn't have much effect. Liao Jun was still as drunk as before. There was no sign of him waking up at all. Seeing this, Liao Yuning frowned and said coldly, "Father is here." "Ah. Father. Father, where is he?" Hearing Liao Yuning's words, Liao Jun, who was drunk and unconscious on the table, stood up the next moment and looked around energetically. Ha ha ha, at this moment, Liao Yuning saw her brother's appearance and immediately laughed out loud. "Oh, sister, can you not scare me with father? It's not like you don't know how terrifying father is." You, after knowing that he was deceived, Liao Jun quickly turned around and said to his sister, Liao Yuning, with an unhappy look. However, at this moment, Liao Jun suddenly found that Lin Ray and the others who were chatting happily with him before were gone. Immediately, Liao Jun asked anxiously, "Sister, where is Lin Ray who was chatting with me? Where did he go?" As soon as he said this, Liao Yuning directly said to him with a dark face, "Humph, you still have the nerve to say that. We were going to pay the bill. It's because of your recklessness, but we didn't expect them to take the bill." Speaking of this, Liao Yuning stretched out one hand. She directly grabbed Liao Jun's collar and walked out of the door. Just as they were about to leave, Liao Jun directly broke free from Liao Yuning's grip, came to the counter in an instant, and asked the restaurant owner, "Boss, where are the people who were eating with me just now?" "Liao Jun, what do you want to do?" Seeing that her brother broke free to find the strangers who were eating with him just now, Liao Yuning suddenly flew into a rage. Just as she was about to step forward and take action, she suddenly found that she seemed to be targeted. Immediately, her anger subsided a little. She instantly released her divine sense and began to explore the surroundings. She wanted to see who was monitoring them. "Oh, are you talking about the young master who spent more than 100,000 yuan on a meal?" At this moment, the restaurant owner quickly asked. "More than 100,000 yuan?" Hearing the restaurant owner's words, Liao Jun's eyes flickered, and then he said, "Yes, it's them." "Where are they now? How can I find them?" Hearing Liao Jun's words, the restaurant owner nodded and said, "He is staying in our restaurant, but we can't reveal the guest's information." Just as the shop owner was about to hide the information of Linley and the others, he saw a bag fall on the table. Because he used too much force, the contents of the bag spilled out. It was none other than his favorite item, black gold coins. Looking at the amount, the shop owner immediately replied with a smile. "All right, I'll take it. They are at the back, and the two courtyards are connected, facing the door. You can see them when you enter the back." With that, the restaurant owner was about to reach for the bag full of black gold, but at this moment, Liao Jun's voice sounded again, "Okay, open a courtyard for me here. Open it for me for as long as they stay." With that, Liao Jun subconsciously glanced at his sister, Liao Yuning, on the side, hoping that she would agree. However, when he saw his sister's expression, a bad feeling suddenly surged in his heart. He still knew his sister's temper, but now Liao Yuning had a solemn expression, and he also felt the power of divine sense from his sister. In an instant, he reacted and instantly released his divine sense to investigate every movement in the surroundings. "Humph, you brat, you only know how to mess around once you're outside. Do you know that if the elders who came with us find out that you're so extravagant and wasteful outside, they'll definitely come after you. Moreover, the sect has already booked a room elsewhere. How are you going to explain this to the elders now? If the elders report this matter to father, have you thought about the consequences? At this moment, after seeing her brother's vigilance, Liao Yuning's face was filled with joy, and then she transmitted her voice to him. TSK, go ahead and say it. In any case, I don't care about this 1 or 2 times. I have a feeling that those people from earlier will be able to help me in our Falling Star Pavilion one day. Thus, I will be willful this time around. Furthermore, I get along very well with them. They are not like those people who only knew how to curry favor with those in power and wanted to use my status to climb up the ranks. They give me a very comfortable feeling. Hearing her brother's words, Liao Yuning nodded. Her eyes were filled with heartache as she looked at Liao Jun and promised, okay, since you have decided, I will not stop you. However, I must be where you are. If you don't agree with this, then give up your idea as soon as possible and go back with me obediently. Liao Jun had long guessed what his sister Liao Yuning was going to say. He said with a smile, I knew you were going to say this. I have already booked a courtyard and 2 rooms. With that, Liao Jun, who didn't find anyone around, instantly withdrew his divine sense. Sister, there's no need to investigate. The other party clearly has no hostility towards us. If there really is, then I will definitely be able to find out. With that, Liao Jun turned around and took the key that the restaurant owner had already prepared. He then pulled his sister Liao Yuning's hand and walked towards the back. The person leading the way was the waiter who had served them the dishes earlier. The moment they left the restaurant, Demon Blood 15 and the other 14 people who had been left behind by Lin Ray instantly stood up and walked towards the back of the restaurant. The moment they walked out of the restaurant and entered the back of the restaurant, their bodies were completely hidden in the air. They returned to Lin Ray's courtyard like ghosts. At this moment, Lin Ray, who had already returned to his room, looked at the young man and asked, "What's wrong? You don't look too good just now." The young man sitting on the chair heard Lin Ray's question and smiled bitterly, "It's nothing. It's just that I spent over 1,000 black gold for a meal, so I feel a bit of heartache." Pfft. Ha ha ha. When he heard that the young man was feeling bad because he had spent too much money, Lin Ray couldn't help but burst out laughing. However, when he thought about it, money didn't come easily. A meal that cost over 1,000 black gold would probably take more than 10 lifetimes to spend it all. Alright, let's forget about this matter. Just be more careful in the future. However, young man, in any case, you used to own a trading company. I didn't expect you to be so stingy with money. To be honest, he really didn't expect this. He originally thought that the young man who had owned a trading company would be the kind of person who spent money like water. He didn't expect him to feel bad because of 1,000 black gold. Dong dong dong. Chapter 528. At that moment, just as Lin Ray was speaking, there was a knock on the door. Lin Ray looked at the door in confusion. At that moment, Lin Tian walked to the door and opened it to let the person who knocked come in. The person who came in was Blood 15, who had been eating in the restaurant. Lin Ray was instantly confused. Seeing his anxious expression, he knew something had happened. What is it? Replying to young master, the sibling sitting at the same table as you didn't leave. And from the looks of it, that man seems to be planning to stay. They've already booked a room here, and it's not too far from where you're staying. What? Hearing Blood 15's report, Lin Ray's heart skipped a beat. He felt like he was being pestered. After a moment of silence, Lin Ray finally nodded and said, "All right, 15, I understand. It's going to be a critical period, so you guys will protect me from the shadows like they do. Remember, no matter who it is, as long as they have the intention to kill, don't be merciful and just kill them. Got it?" At that moment, as Lin Ray was talking to Blood 15, a sharp and bloodthirsty light flashed across his eyes. One could feel the boundless killing intent coming from Lin Ray. Yes. Blood 15 never had any objections to Lin Rei's orders. After hearing Lin Rei's orders, he disappeared from the room. At that moment, Lin Rei's face darkened. He really couldn't understand why those two god emperors were pestering him when he didn't even know them. What's wrong? Are those two people very troublesome? Do you want me to kill them? At that moment, Lu Ying's voice rang out. Instantly, the temperature in the room dropped. Lin Tian's brother trembled as a gust of cold wind blew behind him. Huh, Lin Rei said when he heard his wife's words, no need. Also, do you really think you can kill a mid-stage god emperor just because you want to? What? Middle divine emperor? Lin Li's words astonished everyone. They had been eating with them, talking and laughing with them, but they were all mid-godly emperors. Their hearts were filled with dread. What a joke. Lin Li said. Yes, 15 told me about it. They are all divine emperors. They are either from sects or empires. Anyway, be careful in the future. Don't expose your background and strength before you figure out whether they are friends or foes. Do you understand? Alright, got it. Looking at them, Lin Rei didn't say anything. Instead, he gestured to his clone and brought him away. Nobody objected. In the end, Lin Tian and Lu Ying returned to their residence. After what happened just now, Lu Ying started to work hard to cultivate. However, no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't increase his cultivation because he was bound to Lin Rei. Only when Lin Rei increased his cultivation would she increase her cultivation. Outside the door, Lin Rei and Di Shi Tian were alone. Lin Rei said, someone was following you just now. I've already dealt with him. Do you know who he is? What? Di Shi Tian stared at Lin Rei in disbelief. He knew that the assassins' organization wanted to see how strong the people they sent were. Looking at Sakura, Lin Li laughed and explained, alright, you don't have to be like this. Originally, I was planning to go look for you and then send a few people to protect you. It just so happens that you came. At this point, Lin Li waved his hand in the air. Instantly, 30 Azura clansmen who had been hiding in the air appeared and surrounded them. This, looking at the surrounding experts who were emitting powerful auras, Indra was shocked. As you can see, there are 10 godly emperors here. Pick out 2 of them and bring them along. Pick out 5 godly emperors and let them ensure your safety. Of course, they will watch from the side when you're training. They will only help when you're in danger. Normally, they will only appear around you. Di Shi Tian's eyes were filled with excitement when he heard this. At the same time, he decided that the Assassin's organization would only accept this mission for him. Alright, I understand. Then, Di Shi Tian pointed at 7 Azura clansmen and planned to leave. Alright, you can go. Remember, look for me if you need anything. You can also get them to send a message. As he spoke, Lin Li waved his hand towards his clone, bidding him farewell. The two of them separated. They didn't know when they would be able to meet again. Alright, you guys can go. After the clone completely disappeared, Lin Li looked at the remaining people and spoke to them. Yes, we'll take our leave. Hearing Lin Rei's order, the remaining 23 Azura clansmen disappeared and retreated into the sky. Lin Rei was stunned when he saw them leave. His eyes were empty and he didn't know what to do. Just like that, Lin Rei was stunned for a long time. Finally, he came back to his senses. Hee, what's wrong with me? Sensing his own condition, Lin Li murmured to himself. And then, with a chuckle, he prepared to leave. Whoosh! At this moment, there was a sound of something breaking through the air. Lin Rei paused and stretched out his hand. Spiritual chi rushed out of his hand and wrapped around the thing that was rushing towards him. Lin Rei ignored the thing that was wrapped in spiritual chi. Suddenly, he looked at the place where the thing was thrown from and a murderous aura burst out of his body. Sneaky thing, come out. In an instant, the dry water sword that he just bought from the auction at the Carefree Pavilion appeared in his hand. A majestic sword chi slashed towards that place. Bang! A loud sound was heard. Lin Rei could feel that the person who came from that place did not have any hostility towards him. Therefore, he did not continue to attack. However, he was still on his guard. Ta, 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 his attack was stopped. Then, there was the sound of footsteps. Then, a familiar figure appeared. Looking at her, wasn't she Liao Yuning, the woman in black who ate with him at the same table? Seeing her shocked expression, Lin Rei looked up at the thing wrapped in the quilt. Suddenly, Lin Rei was stunned. A black gold coin fell out. Lin Rei was embarrassed. Then, he said embarrassedly, I said you don't have to give it to me. You'd better take it back. In order to resolve the awkwardness, Lin Rei could only change the topic as soon as possible. At this moment, Liao Yuning walked up to Lin Rei and said coldly, you'd better take it back. Our Falling Star Pavilion doesn't need your money. What? Falling Star Pavilion? At this moment, Lin Rei was shocked. He had just learned about the existence of the demon sect. He did not expect to see someone from the Falling Star Pavilion. No, the sect leader of the Falling Star Pavilion is Liao Bufan. He has a son and a daughter who are both at the Divine Emperor realm. Then, hearing Liao Yuning say that she was a disciple of the Falling Star Pavilion, Su Ke thought of the information about the demon sect that he had learned before. It was very likely that this woman was Liao Bufan's daughter. In this regard, Lin Rei became more vigilant. He held the Qian water sword tightly in his hand. Lin Rei turned the chaos scripture in his body to the extreme. The spiritual qi was on standby at any time. You don't have to be on guard against me. I just want to say that although my brother is an expert at the Divine Emperor realm, he has been cultivating in the sect all year round. He has very few opportunities to enter the secular world and has very few friends. I don't want him to be cheated. Saying this, Liao Yuning stared at Lin Rei as if she wanted to see through him. Hearing Liao Yuning's words, Lin Rei said disdainfully, you don't have to worry. Your brother doesn't have anything that is worth cheating. So what if he is the young master of the Falling Star Pavilion? I, Lin Rei, am not going to covet the things of the Falling Star Pavilion. Lin Rei was not lying. He was a person who was proficient in alchemy, formations, and refining weapons. Why would he spy on a sect? Liao Yuning's face sank when she heard Lin Li's words. She was clearly displeased. Although the Falling Star Pavilion was a demonic Dao sect, Lin Li seemed to be implying that the Falling Star Pavilion wasn't worth him taking action against. I don't care if you are a servant disciple of the holy sect or not. I just want to protect my brother. I hope you can understand. Saying this, Liao Yuning ignored Lin Rei and was about to leave. At this moment, a voice that gave Lin Rei a headache was heard. Brother Lin Rei, so you're here? Hearing this voice, Liao Yuning, who was about to leave, immediately turned around and looked at her brother with displeasure. Why are you here? Didn't I say I would help you find him? Don't think I didn't hear what you said to Lin Rei. Liao Jun was even more displeased when he saw his sister, Liao Yuning. Then, he eagerly came to Lin Rei's side and hooked his arm around Lin Rei's shoulder. With a simple smile, he said, Lin Rei, don't listen to my sister's nonsense. Although we are a demon sect, we have never killed innocent people. So Lin Rei's head was about to explode when he saw the sister and brother each giving a different explanation. However, Lin Rei had an inexplicable good impression of Liao Jun. Hearing his words, Lin Rei hurriedly said, it's fine. So what if you're a demon sect? Who hasn't killed before? So what if you're a righteous sect? Don't tell me they don't kill. Moreover, I can't even remember the number of people who have died in my hands. Saying this, Lin Rei's tongue unconsciously licked his lips. He looked extremely bloodthirsty and devilish. When the Liao family's sister and brother saw this scene, their bodies trembled. At this moment, they felt that they weren't part of the demon sect. Instead, this servant disciple of the holy Sect seemed to be part of the demon's sect from head to toe. Especially when he talked about killing people, that kind of soul-shaking feeling was something they had never experienced before. Okay, I'll stop talking. I still have things to do, so I'll be leaving first. Saying this, Lin Rei turned and walked towards his room. Chapter 529. After Lin Rei left, only the Liao siblings were left. They were still standing there in a daze. They only woke up after a long time had passed since Lin Rei had left. The feeling from before was still very obvious. Bastard. The first thing Liao Yuning did after waking up was to shout at the place where Lin Rei had left. Then, she reached out and dragged her brother to her room. Time passed by slowly. More than a month had passed since the auction. During this month, Lin Rei was living a life worse than death. Every day, he wanted to go to a place where no one could find him. During this month, after Liao Jun found out where Lin Rei lived, the days of drinking began. Every day, when you opened your eyes, you would see Liao Jun in front of your bed, looking at you with innocent eyes. Then, he would pester you and drag you to the restaurant in front to drink. Basically, it was like this every day. Only Lin Rei could escape by hiding in the system. Lin Rei was helpless about this. What made Lin Rei feel the most aggrieved was that every time Liao Jun returned home drunk, Liao Yuning would come to Lin Rei. It was obvious that it was because of her brother who got drunk every day. Lin Rei explained this many times, but in the end, he was still ignored by Liao Yuning. In the end, it was all done by Lin Rei. At first, Lin Rei still tried to explain. Later, Lin Rei was too lazy to explain. He didn't care what she thought. During this month, the Heaven's Wall City became lively. All the major continents in the realm of the gods, except for the most mysterious ninth continent, sent people over. Not for anything else, but to have a good result in the Tendo competition. The Tendo competition also had another name, which was the ranking battle of the sects. As long as your sect's number 1 disciple could achieve a good result in this battle, then even if your sect was a third-rate sect, it would still be an opportunity to promote your sect. For this opportunity, many people wouldn't be able to obtain it even if they were forced to kowtow. All kinds of experts had come. In the past few days, Lin Rei had been drinking with Liao Jun during the day, and at night, he would enter alone to consolidate his cultivation. Originally, his foundation was a little shaky because of the matter with his clone. However, in the past 2 months, Lin Rei had been refining and cultivating at the same time, and his shaky cultivation had improved a lot. As the sun rose, the sunlight from outside shone into the room. Perhaps it was because the light from outside was too dazzling, causing the sleeping Lin Rei to slowly wake up. Lin Rei opened his eyes and turned to look outside. When he saw that the sky was already bright, Lin Rei suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart. Then, with a thought, he wanted to enter the system to hide. However, just as Lin Rei thought about it, a loud bang came from behind the door. The door was ruthlessly kicked to pieces by someone. Liao Jun was looking at Lin Rei, who was lying on the bed and about to get up, with a smile on his face. He said in a clear voice, "Brother Lin Rei, what's wrong? You knew that I was coming, so you were going to welcome me." Rumble. At this moment, Lin Rei's brain seemed to have been struck by lightning. He stopped getting up and stared blankly in front of him. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Damn, how could I forget? Regret. At this moment, Lin Rei's heart was filled with endless regret. Last night, he said that he would wake up earlier today and come to see him more often. However, it seemed that he couldn't do it now. Then, Lin Rei's mind spun rapidly, and a brilliant idea came to his mind. Then, a painful cry came out of Lin Rei's mouth. His body, which had already gotten up, instantly fell back onto the bed with a painful cry. With a painful expression, coupled with the screams, the cold sweat from his spirit force, and his godlike eyes, he trembled as he looked at Liao Jun at the door. "I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't go today. I don't know what happened, but I seem to have caught a cold yesterday. My head hurts a bit, and it's quite uncomfortable to be alone. Oh, right, my leg hurts a lot too. At this moment, Lin Rei had spilled everything. In order to stop drinking, he could only make himself sound so miserable. However, because of his fear of drinking with Liao Jun, he forgot that cultivators wouldn't get sick, let alone gods. Ah, you're sick. Upon hearing Linley's words, the originally happy Liao Jun walked over to Linley's bed with a worried look on his face. A stream of black spiritual energy instantly entered Linley's body and began to examine him. Liao Jun's actions gave Lin Rei a headache. He hadn't expected Liao Jun to be so worried and even want to examine his body. In response, Lin Rei could only endure the pain. He found a spirit meridian that wasn't particularly important and used his cultivation. In the next moment, that undamaged spirit meridian was instantly broken by Lin Rei. This kind of pain was nothing to Lin Rei. After all, he had previously refined his internal organs and spirit meridian. The moment Lin Rei broke his meridian, Liao Jun's spirit force arrived. When he sensed the broken meridian, Liao Jun frowned. His face was full of seriousness. Perhaps Lin Rei didn't know that, in their worldview, a broken meridian was a very troublesome matter. However, in Lin Rei's worldview, it was a piece of cake. Brother Lin Rei, there is a broken meridian in your body. However, don't worry. I will go and find my sister. Back then, she broke her own meridian and reconnected it. Perhaps she will have a way. Hearing this, Lin Rei frowned. He wanted to stop Liao Jun, but it was too late. Liao Jun's figure had completely disappeared from the room. *CK, this guy, although he was complaining, Lin Rei didn't regret it. He would rather suffer than go out and drink with Liao Jun. It wasn't for anything else, but for the fact that he had been drunk every day for a month. After a while, Liao Jun, who had gone out to ask for help, returned with Liao Yuning. Before she could understand Lin Rei's words, Liao Yuning directly drove to Lin Rei's side and injected her spirit force into his body. She then found the place Liao Jun had told her about. After all, she was still his sister. When Liao Yuning came to the broken meridian, she could feel that the meridian wasn't broken by herself. In response, Liao Yuning glanced at Lin Rei suspiciously, as if she wanted to see through everything. To be honest, Lin Rei felt a little uncomfortable being stared at by such a beautiful woman. Lin Rei immediately avoided Liao Yuning's gaze and said, "Hey, are you done? Why don't you leave first? I will deal with this matter, no." Before Lin Rei could finish speaking, Liao Jun interrupted him. "How can this be? How are you going to deal with it? Moreover, my sister has reconnected your meridian before. Therefore, to be on the safe side, let my sister treat you. Don't worry, my sister told me that your meridian won't hinder drinking, so." Hearing this, Lin Rei frowned and had a bad premonition. He glanced at Liao Yuning with hidden bitterness before looking at Liao Jun. In the room, Liao Yuning took out something from her ring. Lin Rei was stunned on the spot and forgot that he was pretending to be sick. He instantly jumped up from the bed and scolded Liao Jun directly. "Liao Jun, do you still have any humanity? I'm already in this state and you still want me to drink. What do you want to do?" But the next moment, Lin Rei felt his current state. Then the spiritual energy in Lin Rei's body surged and a feeling of weakness spread to his whole body. Suddenly, Lin Rei fell heavily on the bed and said in a weak voice, I really can't drink. Look at me, I'm so sick." At this moment, Lin Rei was really scared. He used to like to have a drink, but now, he drank with Liao Jun every day. It was not a drink, it was drinking his life. Moreover, at this moment, Liao Jun took out not 2 or 3 jars, but a whole room full of wine. It would be strange if he didn't get drunk after drinking it. Liao Yuning had basically guessed Lin Rei's conspiracy from his actions just now. She chuckled and said with a smile, okay, little brother, you stay here with Lin Ray. I'll go to the Alchemy Guild to see if they have the kind of medicine that can heal meridians. As she spoke, Liao Yuning smiled at Linley, then quickly disappeared from the room. Looking in the direction Liao Yuning left, Lin Ray hated her so much that he had the impulse to bite her with his teeth. Alas! Brother Linley, you're in luck. You don't know, but our Falling Star Pavilion is viewed by you righteous path as an evil path. Thus, generally, the Alchemy Guild won't buy medicinal pills from us. I hope there won't be any accidents this time. At this moment, Liao Jun looked out of the window with a worried expression. His eyes were full of nervousness. Looking at his appearance, he no longer had the desire to drink. Lin Ray lay on the bed and began to pretend to be asleep. But in the instant that Linley closed his eyes, a strand of divine sense entered Blood 15's mind. Go, follow Liao Yuning. If she's in danger, help her. Don't let her get hurt. Yes, I understand. How many people should we bring? Blood 15 had already guessed Lin Ray's decision, so he asked the moment Lin Ray finished speaking. Lin Ray was silent for a moment before answering. All of them. I still don't know what the Heaven's Wall City's Alchemy Guild is like, let alone how strong they are. Even if I want you to go, I don't want you to be in any danger, so, yes, I understand. Blood 15 and the others felt warmth in their hearts when they heard Lin Ray's words. They then disappeared into the void and shot toward the Heaven's Wall City's Alchemy Guild. After doing all this, Lin Ray was relieved. At this moment, Liao Jun was sitting on a chair to the side. The wine jar in his hand had long disappeared. His hands were tightly clenched together. It was obvious that he was worried. Suddenly, Lin Ray felt a faint sense of guilt in his heart. Alas! Forget it, I hope nothing happens this time. Chapter 530. Liao Yuning, who came out of Lin Ray's residence, was very nervous even though she was expressionless. She knew very well what it felt like to have broken meridians, and she knew how serious this matter was. Although she could see that Lin Ray did it on purpose, she still came to the Alchemy Guild to ask for medicine for Lin Ray. After all, the reason why Lin Ray's meridians were broken was mostly because of her brother's coercion. Liao Yuning didn't dare to stop and came to the Alchemy Guild's entrance. This time, she was determined to get the medicinal pill, no matter what trouble she encountered. Looking at the entrance of the Alchemy Guild, Liao Yuning deeply sighed. Immediately after, she took a step forward and wanted to enter. But just at that moment, a person just happened to walk out from the Alchemy Guild. From the looks of it, he seemed to have been bullied and his expression was extremely ugly. The moment he saw Liao Yuning, the man's eyes lit up, and he turned around to ask Liao Yuning, "Beauty, is there something you need?" Looking at the wretched man, Liao Yuning frowned. She hated this kind of person the most. Just as she was about to teach him a lesson, she saw the Heaven Rank Alchemist's badge in the middle of the hall. Instantly, the surging anger in Liao Yuning's heart calmed down. It's like this, my friend's meridians are broken. I want to ask for a medicinal pill here, no matter the price, as long as there's a medicinal pill that can heal meridians. Oh, his meridians are broken? Hearing this, the man frowned, and then he thought of God. His frowning brows relaxed, and he said, "Oh, the medicinal pill you're talking about, but it's only available to a top emperor rank alchemist. Moreover, he's my master." Liao Yuning was excited when she heard that there really was a medicinal pill, but as for what the man said after that, she didn't listen carefully, and even if she did, she wouldn't think that an emperor rank alchemist would want a heaven rank alchemist as a disciple. If it was really calculated, the alchemist would at most be a handyman. Hearing this, Liao Yuning said, Then can I trouble you to give me a recommendation? My Falling Star Pavilion will definitely remember it." "What, Falling Star Pavilion?" "Falling Star Pavilion. She's from the Devil's Sect?" At this moment, the instant the name Falling Star Pavilion came out from Liao Yuning's mouth, regardless of whether it was the heaven rank weapon craftsman from earlier or the surrounding passers-by, all of them were in an uproar at this moment. As for the Falling Star Pavilion, they all regarded it as the demonic sect. In front of hundreds of thousands of people, a genius, Liao Bufan, appeared in the Falling Star Pavilion. For some unknown reason, he actually managed to annihilate a city with a population of 1 million in a single night. Among the 4 sects, there were 2 grade 1 sects and the rest were grade 2 sections. From then on, Liao Bufan became a demon in the eyes of everyone in the divine realm. This time around, the Falling Star Pavilion also became the leader of the demonic sections. Liao Yuning had already guessed everyone's reaction, but she didn't regret it. This was the effect she wanted. She knew that she couldn't get the name she wanted from the Alchemy Guild. She could only rely on her family's background to have a slight chance of winning. At this moment, that heaven-rank weapon craftsman no longer dared to have lewd eyes like before. At this moment, when he heard that the woman before him was actually from the Falling Star Pavilion, his body immediately quivered and he immediately rushed inside. Not long after, that man appeared again. At this moment, there were 3 grizzled-haired old men following behind him. At the instant they saw Liao Yuning, their eyes instantly turned cold. Faintly, Liao Yuning felt a trace of murderous intent. Liao Yuning simply did not place them in her eyes. She had only come here for medicinal pellets and nothing else. Immediately after, she looked at the 3 old men and said indifferently, "I am Liao Yuning. I have only come here to ask for a medicinal pellet that can repair meridians for a friend. No matter what price you offer, I will accept it." Getting straight to the point, Liao Yuning was very direct. However, at this moment, after the 3 old men heard what Liao Yuning said, disdain flashed through their eyes and they said, "Although we don't care about all the sects, if your Falling Star Pavilion can't do it, several 100,000 years ago, your Falling Star Pavilion's pavilion master, Liao Bufan, killed so many people from our alchemy guild and destroyed a branch of our alchemy guild. Since then, our alchemy guild stopped doing any business with the Falling Star Pavilion. Do you think that you can buy medicinal pellets from us?" Once those words were said, a strong smell of gunpowder filled the entire entrance of the alchemy guild. Regarding this point, she had once heard her father, Liao Bufan, mention it before. Back then, because he was cultivating a kind of cultivation method, he was poisoned by someone and his heart demon was born. That was why he did such a thing. After he found out about it, he also regretted it. At that moment, Liao Yuning did not care about that, she just wanted to buy medicinal pellets. "I don't care about your business, I just want medicinal pellets. Today, if you give me medicinal pellets, I will give up. If not, then..." Then, Liao Yuning was stupefied. She quickly circulated her skills and black spiritual qi rushed out of her body. A spear appeared in her hand and she released her strength of the Middle Godly Emperor Realm. Middle Godly Emperor Realm, she's a Middle Godly Emperor Realm cultivator. She's so young, how could she be so strong? At that moment, Liao Yuning's cultivation level was being discussed by the passers-by. Everybody was astonished. It was not easy for someone to break through to the Godly Emperor Realm at her age, let alone a Middle Godly Emperor Realm cultivator. When the 3 old men saw that Liao Yuning didn't want to give up, they frowned and released their mid and late godly emperors. 3 qi-long swords appeared in their hands. They looked like they could control everything under the heavens with their swords. The Tian-level weapon refiner in the middle saw that the situation was not good. "Miss, don't do anything stupid. You can't be arrogant in front of the Alchemy Guild," said the old man in the middle at that moment. He looked as if he was saying that Lin Fan could not defeat them. Liao Yuning looked at them and did not say anything else. She took out her spear and rushed towards the 3 old men. Burn, destroy. At that moment, the black spear that was filled with black qi split into 3. They all carried black flames and rushed towards the 3 old men, ready to kill them. At the same time, Liao Yuning disappeared in the air the moment the spell was cast. When she reappeared, she was behind the 3 old men. She used the same trick to stab the back of the 3 old men. The 3 old men panicked when they saw that. They had been silent for too long. Even though they were middle and late godly emperors, they were alchemists. They had used pills to increase their cultivation level. Therefore, Liao Yuning's attack made them feel like cornered beasts. Seeing that the attacks were getting closer and closer to them, one of the old men raised his eyebrows and shouted into the air, "I'm recruiting experts with a peak emperor-level medicinal pill." What? Liao Yuning had a bad feeling. All the sects and clans wanted to recruit alchemists and deployment masters. Liao Yuning had never thought that they would be so shameless. Ha ha ha, good. Remember what you said. Sure enough, something bad happened. A skinny man who was carrying a coffin on his back suddenly appeared. He waved his hand, and a stream of black spiritual energy flew out, directly crushing all of Liao Yuning's attacks. In such a short time, Liao Yuning didn't even have time to react before her attack was defeated. In this regard, Liao Yuning's brows furrowed tightly. That guy. She knew that person. As a member of the demon sect, how could she not know him? That person was Divine Emperor Tian Sha of the Corpse Sect. He was a famous godly emperor. Liao Yuning had never thought that he would help her just for a pill. When the three old men sensed that they were out of danger, they quickly thanked Divine Emperor Tian Sha. "Thank you. I'll cook for you. Of course, I can give you 3 top godly emperor realm pills to help me capture her. What do you think?" "Oh." Tian Sha thought for a while and a murderous look flashed in his eyes. After a while, Tian Sha smiled and said, "Okay, I'll take this deal." Liao Yuning panicked when she heard that Tian Sha wanted to make her his enemy. She knew that she was no match for Tian Sha, but things had already come to this. If she didn't do anything, she would be captured. Rather than that, she might have a chance to escape. "Huh, why? Are you going to surrender or do you want me to capture you?" Just as Liao Yuning was deep in thought, she heard a sinister voice. Instantly, Liao Yuning's murderous aura surged. She looked like she wanted to fight to the end. "Huh, all right. Seeing that we're both from the demon sect, I won't let you die too badly." Seeing Liao Yuning's stubbornness, Tian Sha decided to do the dance himself. Tian Sha slapped Liao Yuning with immense spiritual power. Suddenly, a loud black sound appeared above Liao Yuning's head. It slapped Liao Yuning from top to bottom with great pressure. Humph. Looking at the huge palm above her head, Liao Yuning knew that she did not have the ability to fight back. However, she did not want to give in so easily. She quickly circulated the qi in her body to her hands and resisted the attack. Bang! When Liao Yuning's palms collided with Tian Sha's attack, there was a loud sound. Liao Yuning's hair was disheveled and the black veil on her face had fallen off. Her delicate face was exposed in front of everyone. Blood kept flowing out of her mouth and her face turned pale. Humph, go to hell. Looking at Liao Yuning who was resisting with her life, Heaven Fiend frowned and sent out another palm strike. The moment she saw this palm strike, Liao Yuning fell into despair. She was truly in despair. And at this moment, a face that she hated appeared in her mind. Chapter 531. This person was undoubtedly Lin Rei. Liao Yuning did not know that her mind would be filled with Lin Rei at this moment. Liao Yuning's body tensed up as she felt the threat of death. She could vaguely see the god of death waving at her. Liao Yuning waited for her death. However, after a long time, she still did not feel anything. She opened her eyes. When she opened her eyes, she was shocked by the scene before her. At this moment, more than 20 black-robed cultivators were standing in front of her, surrounding her. Liao Yuning was confused by the aura they exuded. Not only Liao Yuning, but even the Heaven Fiend Divine Emperor, the 3 elders from the Alchemy Guild, and the onlookers were shocked. No one had expected this to happen. Humph, who are you? How dare you meddle in the affairs of the Alchemy Guild? Aren't you afraid? At this moment, the only thing the 3 elders could do was to use the strength of the Alchemy Guild to suppress them. Otherwise, they would be humiliated. Ha, the Alchemy Guild? Do you think we care? You can't touch this person. Our young master wants to protect her. Of course, you can also have a taste of death. At this moment, the 20 black-robed cultivators in front of Liao Yuning were naturally sent by Lin Rei to protect her. When they saw the Heaven Fiend Divine Emperor's claws about to crush Liao Yuning, they moved. 15 of them immediately attacked and destroyed the Heaven Fiend Divine Emperor's attack. However, this attack also shocked everyone, especially the Heaven Fiend Divine Emperor. In response to 15's words, the 3 old men dared not say anything even though they were angry. After witnessing the strength of 15 and the others, how could they make a move? Not only them, but even Tian Sha, who had been extremely arrogant earlier, began to retreat. Stay here. 15 did not like the Heaven Fiend at all. Moreover, he had attacked Liao Yuning, whom Lin Rei had asked them to protect. This made 15 even angrier. When he saw the Heaven Fiend retreating, 15 moved. In an instant, he disappeared on the spot. When the onlookers saw him again, they thought he was behind the Heaven Fiend. The moment he felt something strange behind him, Tian Sha immediately dodged to the side. But how could he be stronger than the Shura clan? 15 casually struck out with his palm. Immediately, 15, who had wanted to dodge, was hit by the spear. He fell directly in front of Liao Yuning. At this moment, Sky Fiend was heavily injured by 15. He couldn't help but coldly snort. His eyes twitched as he turned to look at 15 and 15's group. His tone was very vicious as he threatened. You can't kill me. I'm a disciple of the Corpse Ghost Sect. If you kill me, our sect master will refine you into battle corpses. Seeing that the Heaven Fiend was still a threat despite being reduced to such a state, 15 did not hesitate. He walked forward and stomped on the Heaven Fiend's head. The moment the Heaven Fiend died, a black mini version of the Heaven Fiend rushed towards the sky. Looking at the escaping mini version of the Heaven Fiend, 15, who was already prepared, stretched out his hand. A blood-red energy rushed out and enveloped the mini version of the Heaven Fiend, refining it instantly. Waves of energy instantly merged into 15's body. 15 was satisfied with this energy, and his face was filled with a satisfied smile. Boom! A muffled sound rang out. At this moment, when no one was paying attention or feeling it, a muffled sound came from 15's body. The sound was so soft that it was covered by the surrounding noise. I didn't expect to break through to the Divine Ancestor level at this time. Although no one knew, 15 could feel it himself. Feeling the seal being broken again, this feeling made him very happy. At this moment, the mini version of the Heaven Fiend had been completely refined by 15. Wow! Seeing 15's method of killing the mini version of the Heaven Fiend, the surrounding people began to panic. Their eyes were filled with fear as they retreated backward. Even the 3 elders who had threatened him with the name of the Alchemy Guild were scared when they saw that a powerful cultivator with the cultivation of a divine emperor could not even last one move in front of their lover. However, at this moment, Liao Yuning was still in a state of confusion. She did not understand who the young master 15 was talking about was. She also did not know why these people wanted to protect her. As for the scene in front of the Alchemy Guild, 15 had already passed on the message to Lin Rei. Lin Rei, who was lying on the bed, received the message from 15. When he learned that he had broken through to the Divine Emperor level and entered the Divine Ancestor level, he could not help but jump up in excitement. Regarding this, Liao Jun, who had been sitting next to him worriedly, was puzzled. However, at this moment, he ignored Lin Rei and stared at the door. When he saw Liao Jun's expression, Lin Rei could not bear to see him like this. He stood up and looked at him. Lin Rei ignored him and walked out of the room. Then, he dared to walk towards where Liao Yuning was. Although he did not know that it was too early for him to expose himself. However, how could he improve his cultivation without pressure? This was undoubtedly a dangerous move. This was also a decision he had made after thinking for a long time. Previously, he had always felt that his cultivation had improved a little too slowly. Also, his doppelganger had improved too quickly, causing his foundation to be unstable. Another reason was that these days had been too boring. As for the Tendo competition, Lin Rei had no intention of participating in it at all. Therefore, he had to find something to do. At the entrance of the Alchemy Guild, Liao Yuning stood up. Although she was puzzled, if she could get what she wanted, it would not be a bad thing. Thinking of this, Liao Yuning walked to the side of 15 and said to the 3 elders of the Alchemy Guild, "Give me the pills that can reconnect the meridians and I'll let this matter rest." Hearing Liao Yuning's words, the 3 elders' faces turned green and red. They felt that their self-esteem had been trampled on. However, in the face of a powerhouse, how could they not agree? Then, the 3 elders hurriedly nodded and said in unison, "Okay, we'll give you the pills now." Then, the one in the middle flipped his hand and a pill bottle appeared. He then handed it to Liao Yuning. However, just when they thought that everything would go smoothly, a voice suddenly rang out. Instantly, the pill bottle that was about to reach the elder's hand was taken back by the elder. Embarrassing. As an alchemist of the Alchemy Guild, you're actually so afraid of death. The appearance of this person stunned everyone. Then, accompanied by the voice, an old man with a head full of white hair appeared in front of everyone without any warning. With the appearance of a senior lecturing a junior, he criticized the 3 elders, "Look at you, you're all so old. I thought that after such a long period of cultivation, your temperament would become stable." Sigh. I didn't expect this. Then, he sighed and shook his head. His eyes were filled with disappointment as he looked at them. Regarding this, the 3 elders had nothing to say and gradually nodded in agreement. Liao Yuning felt an invisible sense of oppression towards the old man who suddenly appeared and interrupted her. She did not know why it was like this, but looking at him, he seemed to have a very high status in the Alchemy Guild. Little girl, you're so rude. Could it be that Liao Bufan hasn't seen you before? Children shouldn't interrupt when elders are talking. Then, he waved his hand and a gust of cold wind came to Liao Yuning's side in an instant. At this moment, the moment she felt the cold wind, Liao Yuning knew that she was definitely no match for it. Just when she thought she was going to suffer, a figure suddenly appeared. It was none other than 15, who had broken through to the Divine Emperor realm and entered the Holy Sect. The moment the old man made a move, 15 also moved. Then, he operated his cultivation method to the extreme and his spiritual chi burst out in an instant. He blocked the old man's cold wind. This scene made the old man's eyes light up. Then, a gust of wind stronger than before rushed towards 15. Old man, do you think you can stop me like this? Looking at the gust of wind that was about to sweep over, 15's face was filled with an excited smile. Then, he waved his hand and a huge blood-red energy turned into a blade and rushed towards the gust of wind. A piercing sound was heard. The sound of cloth being cut was heard. The blood-red blade directly cut through the gust of wind from the middle. Hiss. When this scene appeared, everyone around could not help but feel shocked. What kind of cultivation level is he? He can actually do that. At this moment, the old man was also very confused. He had never heard of anyone who could cut through the gust of wind and make a sound. Not only was he confused, but he was also confused about 15's cultivation level. Not for any other reason, but because he could not sense 15's cultivation level at all. Even though he could judge from 15's chi that he was at the Divine Emperor realm, this kind of power was far beyond the Divine Emperor realm. Who are you? The 3 old men behind him also asked the same question, but in the end, 15 did not give them the answer they wanted. You don't need to know. You just need to know that our young master will protect this woman. Oh. Your young master? Who are your young masters? How come I have never heard of such a powerful family in the divinity? They were very curious about the young master that 15 was talking about. At the same time, Liao Yuning was also very curious. She really wanted to know who the mysterious young master was. Our young master, when 15 heard their questions, he was about to refuse when a voice sounded. Their young master is me. As soon as the voice sounded, everyone looked in the direction of the voice and saw a very young man walking towards them. Chapter 532. The young man was not very handsome, but he had a strange aura that was very attractive, especially his slightly purple hair and red eyes, which were very attractive. Everyone saw it, and Liao Yuning was no exception. When she saw the person who spoke, she froze on the spot as if she was struck by lightning. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. How could this be possible? In fact, she couldn't connect this matter with Lin Rui, because from her observation of Lin Rui before, although Lin Rui was very mysterious, she didn't think this force belonged to Lin Rui. "Oh, it's you?" Looking at Lin Rui, he was shocked. Obviously, he didn't expect that this group of mysterious people in front of him would be ordered by such a young man. F***ck. The moment he heard the old man's words, Lin Rui directly cursed. Suddenly, everyone around was stunned. By the time they reacted, Lin Rui had already come to Liao Yuning's side. Looking at her with disdain, he said indifferently, "Isn't it just taking a pill? Look at you. You're in such a state that I have to help you settle it." However, at this moment, when the old man saw that Lin Rui didn't intend to talk to him at all, the anger in his heart instantly surged to his throat. Tisk, Liao Yuning still didn't believe Lin Rui's identity, because she really didn't expect that he would have such powerful subordinates at this moment when he said that he was just a suppression of a holy sect. Who would believe this? Haha. As for Liao Yuning, Lin Rui didn't expect her to say anything nice. Then, he smiled at her and came in front of 15. Looking at him, Lin Rui's eyes were filled with respect. "Greetings, young master." With one sentence, all the Shura people bowed to Lin Rui. Suddenly. After all, everyone in the first division was shocked. Previously, everyone thought that this person was joking, but they didn't find out that it was true. The person in front was really the young master of this group of mysterious people. Regarding this news spread like wildfire through the streets and alleys of Heaven's Wall City. As long as there were people, this news would be everywhere. Seeing that the person who saved her really called Lin Rui young master, Liao Yuning froze on the spot, her eyes full of surprise. You did well. However, you don't have to think too much about these people. Next time, just kill them. It's not like you don't know that I don't need that pill at all." As he spoke, Lin Rui looked at the old man in front of him with a bloodthirsty gaze. Together with the three old men behind him, their voices were filled with murderous intent. Murderous intent rose from their bodies as if they wanted to kill someone. The old man really wanted to attack Lin Rui and what he said, but after the previous battle with 15, he was afraid. Although he was confident that he could escape, in the future, everyone in the realm of the gods would know that he was a coward who bullied the weak and feared the strong. Then, the old man said with a smile, "Young friend, this is all a misunderstanding. I don't know the whole story." As he spoke, the old man's face darkened. Then, he turned to the three people behind him and said, "Bastards, come out and apologize." This attitude was enough to show the old man's intention to make peace. However, Lin Rui's anger didn't subside because of this. Apologize? If apologies were useful, then there wouldn't be so many dead people in this world. As he spoke, he shot a wink at 15. Immediately, 15 understood and attacked. He was so fast that he took the lives of the three old men in one move. Not only were their lives taken, but their divine souls were also taken out by 15 in an instant. The old man didn't realize what had happened in time. When he realized what had happened, it was too late. Their corpses were already lying in front of him. The old man was furious, but he couldn't do anything about it. He wasn't sure whether he could defeat 15 or not. Therefore, he could only endure it for the sake of his life and reputation. Boom! At this moment, when Lin Rei saw the corpses on the ground, a blood-red flame appeared in his hand and he threw it on the 3 corpses. In an instant, the 3 godly emperors were burned to ashes. Not even a strand of hair was left. What? Liao Yuning was shocked by Lin Rei's cruel and merciless actions. She suddenly remembered what Lin Rei had said before. Suddenly, a cold wind blew on her back. Liao Yuning couldn't help but shiver. That's it. Since the Alchemy Guild won't give me the pills, forget it. I don't need them anyway. Seeing that the matter was settled, Lin Rei believed it. Today's exposure was enough for people to remember him. Besides, he believed that the news had already spread to the entire Heaven's Wall city. Lin Rei knew when to stop. As for the old man, he couldn't wait for Lin Rei to leave. He prayed that Lin Rei would never come back. As he spoke, Lin Li turned and walked towards the back. At this moment, no one dared to block his path. Lin Li smiled at them in response. Then, he left with Liao Yuning. However, Lin Li didn't know that at this moment, everyone had already linked Lin Li with the Devil Path's Falling Star Pavilion in their hearts. Especially that smile of his before he left. In his eyes, it was an extremely ordinary smile. However, in their eyes, that smile was extremely evil. Evil to the extent that they were terrified. Lin Rei didn't say anything along the way with Liao Yuning. As for 15 and the others, after they came out, Lin Rei asked them to hide. You. Who are you? As they walked, Liao Yuning suddenly stopped and looked at Lin Rei with vigilance. The spiritual energy in her body was circulating as if she was ready to fight at any time. Looking at her, Lin Rei smiled bitterly and said, "Haha, why? I just helped you and you want to repay kindness with ingratitude? Did the Falling Star Pavilion teach you? Is this how Liao Bufan disciplined his children?" As soon as he said that, Liao Yuning's eyes widened. Then, she became even more vigilant. She had never said anything about what Lin Rei said, but at this moment, it was said by him. How could she not be terrified? You, seeing that Liao Yuning still wanted to say something, Lin Rei frowned and said in an unfriendly tone, "All right, I've done so many things today. I'm sure my identity has been known by others. You guys can stay here." With that, Lin Rei didn't give her another chance. Instead, he disappeared from the street in a few flashes, leaving Liao Yuning alone on the street. After hearing Lin Rei's words, Liao Yuning frowned and immediately chased after Lin Rei. Chapter 533. It had been 3 days since Lin Rei killed the 3 alchemists in the Alchemy Guild. In these 3 days, many people were looking for Lin Rei. Some wanted to recruit him, while others wanted to pry for information. There was no lack of aristocratic family members and sect descendants. Lu Yunhan was one of them. Lin Li didn't have a chance at all. In the past few days, Lin Li had been hiding in his room, eating and drinking. Most importantly, hiding from Liao Jun. After Lin Rei returned to the restaurant, Liao Yuning was a blabbermouth. She immediately told him everything. Fortunately, Lin Rei ran away quickly. Otherwise, he would have been annoyed to death. In these few days, Lin Rei thought about a lot of things. He couldn't stay here any longer. He didn't like to participate in the Tendo conference anyway. Therefore, he followed what the little dragon said before and went out to train. This way, he could train his cultivation and slim down. He could also consolidate his unstable foundation. It was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. "Kid, have you been relaxing these few months? Isn't it time to move around?" Within the system, Lin Li was sitting next to him with fruit and a jug of wine in his hand. His legs were crossed, and he was humming a little tune. He was living a very comfortable life. Just as Lin Li was enjoying himself, Xiaolong's voice rang out. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei's trembling legs stopped in the air. His hand that was holding the wine jug also stopped. Slowly opening his eyes, Linley looked at Xiaolong, then rolled his eyes at him. Very unhappily, he said, can't you just let me have a good rest? In the past few hundred years, when have I ever truly had a relaxing day? With that, Lin Rei stood up and pretended to brush off the dust on his body. Then, he grabbed the wine jug and gulped down a mouthful of wine. Only then did he calm down. Okay, I got it. Isn't it just to cultivate quickly? With that, Lin Rei came to the little dragon's side, put a hand on his shoulder, and nodded. Upon hearing this, the little dragon immediately rolled her eyes at Lin Rei. She then slapped the hand off her shoulder and said snappily to Lin Rei, "It's good that you know. Anyway, you can see for yourself. Now, everyone in Heaven's Wall City knows about you." With that, the little dragon headed into a dark place. At that moment, Lin Rei chased after the little dragon and placed his hand on the little dragon's shoulder. "Actually, I know even without you telling me. Besides, I've decided that I'm going to the Death Canyon this time. I hope that I can improve my cultivation there to the point where I can protect the people I care about as soon as possible." Speaking of this, the battle intent that had been dormant for a long time suddenly burst out. After sensing Lin Rei's abnormal state, the little dragon's shoulder was full of smiles. "Hee, that's right. But you have to remember that this is very important. Moreover, you must never let anyone in the realm of the gods know about the purple blood in your body. Even the Liao siblings can't think about it. Do you understand? I'm doing this for your own good." At that moment, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei didn't let him finish speaking. However, he had heard this sentence many times and these words had long been memorized by Lin Rei. They were even engraved in his heart. He knew the importance of his blood, so he didn't need to remind Lin Rei of this matter. "Alright, it's good that you know. But I still have to remind you to be careful. Don't trust anyone unrelated to you. Perhaps this will allow you to live a little longer." Having said that, the little dragon's body began to fade. When it finally disappeared completely, Lin Rei didn't chase after it. He knew that in the system, even if he wanted to, he wouldn't be able to catch up. By the way, little dragon, the 1,000-tentacle worm has so much energy. Can it help the Shura clan break the seal in their bodies? The moment the little dragon disappeared, Lin Rei finally asked the question that he had been thinking about for a long time. "Yes, it can. But are you sure you want to give your mobile energy source to them? That energy source is enough for you to last until you become a monarch god. If they use it, you can only last until you become a monarch god." Hearing that it would be useful for 15 and the others, Lin Rei didn't care about the rest of the words. It wasn't that he didn't want to, but that he didn't need it. He knew that it wasn't the best thing to gain something without working for it. Although it was the fastest, it was easy for people to become lazy. "I understand. Use it on them. Try to get all of them to enter divine sect, even monarch gods. Of course, if it really doesn't work, then raise them as much as you can." In the darkness, hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon's face revealed a gratified smile. But in order not to let Lin Rei hear it, the little dragon immediately said in a deep voice, "Alright, since you've decided, then I'll do it." As he spoke, the little dragon completely disappeared from this region of space. As the little dragon left, a smile appeared on Linley's face. He then exited the system space. He returned to his residence. Seeing that there wasn't a speck of dust, he knew that his wife had done it. With a slight smile on his face, he pushed open the door and walked out. However, the moment Lin Rei pushed open the door, a figure that he didn't want to see appeared. "Ah, brother Lin Rei." This person was none other than Liao Jun, who knew of Lin Rei's strength. When Lin Rei disappeared, he stayed at Lin Rei's door, waiting for Lin Rei to show up. Sure enough, the heavens didn't disappoint those who waited. Today, he finally arrived. Looking at Liao Jun, Lin Rei had a headache and felt helpless. He didn't know what he could do to make him return to normal. I've said it before. I want you as my brother. Of course, you can continue to hide, but I believe that you'll agree soon. Lin Rei shuddered when he saw Liao Jun's smile. Then, in order to stop Liao Jun from pestering him every day, Lin Rei said, okay, I'll admit it. I'll admit it, okay? Hurry up and leave. I still have to find my wife. As he spoke, Linli began to tug at the thigh that Liao Jun was hugging. This time, to Linli's surprise, Liao Jun didn't cling onto it like he had in the past. Instead, Liao Jun easily gave it to him. Okay, go inside. I'll go back and tell my sister. Tomorrow. Let's set up an altar and burn incense to the heavens and earth. We'll become sworn brothers. With that, Liao Jun left in a hurry. At this moment, when he heard Liao Jun's words, he wanted to stop him. However, when he thought that he was going to leave soon, Lin Rei suddenly realized that he was going to leave soon. At this moment, Liao Jun didn't know that this meeting was actually a farewell. He was very happy at this moment. He quickly returned to his residence and told his sister, Liao Yuning, the news. Liao Yuning didn't stop him. If it was before, she might have said something. However, after seeing Lin Rei's strength, she knew that Lin Rei wasn't simple. Chapter 534. After Lin Rei parted ways with Liao Jun, he went to his wife's room. Without knocking, Lin Rei pushed the door open and entered. You. When Lin Rei entered the room, he saw a very eye-catching scene. At this moment, Luing was changing her clothes. When she heard the door open, she didn't care about anything else and used her cultivation. A long sword appeared in her hand and she instantly appeared in front of Lin Rei, pressing the long sword against his throat. When Luing saw that it was her husband, she immediately put away her long sword and looked at him apologetically. Are you trying to murder your husband? When it came to his own wife, he never had his guard up, so if Luing had given up, he would have been dead by now. I didn't know it was you. I thought you weren't back yet. And who told you to come to my room in broad daylight without knocking? In order to turn things around, Luing started to act shamelessly. Lin Rei couldn't do anything about this. Okay, it's my fault, okay? Knowing that it was useless to say anything, Lin Rei tactfully walked to the bed and sat down. However, Lin Rei was still very frightened at this moment. When he thought about the feeling of death, Lin Rei's body tensed up. Even though it was his wife who wasn't in danger this time, what about the next time? It would be someone else. What would happen to him now? With that thought, Lin Rei originally planned to leave tomorrow, but he couldn't wait any longer. At this moment, he made a decision in his heart. Hurry and pack your things. Go and find the two of them. We're leaving. What? Luing didn't return to her senses for a moment at the sudden news, so she quickly asked in confusion. Towards his wife's questions, Linli would definitely answer them. I said, we are going to leave Heaven's Wall City. Go call those two. Remember, under no circumstances can you disturb the Liao siblings. I don't want them to know that we are leaving. This time, Luing heard it very clearly. He always listened to Lin Rei when it came to such matters. Okay, I got it. With that, Luing hurriedly put on his clothes and disappeared from the room. Not long after, when he returned, there were two more people behind him. Young master, why are you in such a hurry? At this moment, Lin Tian and his younger brother, who had entered the room, hurriedly spoke when they saw Lin Rei. They were very shocked when they heard the news. They did not understand why he would leave at this time. Moreover, the Tendo competition was about to begin. They felt that it was inappropriate to leave at this time. Hee. Looking at their expressions, Lin Rei knew that they were very puzzled. Without further explanation, he said, the Tendo competition is not suitable for me. What I want is the kind of life and death situation where I have to break through my cultivation. I don't care about this kind of regularity. As for the final reward, I'm even less interested. With that, Lin Rei stood up and walked out. When the two of them heard Lin Rei's words, their hearts trembled and the doubts in their hearts were cleared. Let's go. Young master is right. We don't need these things. With that, Lin Tian followed closely behind. From now on, it was the younger brother's turn to leave. The four of them did not disturb them, nor did they have the chance to take the black gold coins from the shop owner. The few of them quietly left Heaven's Wall City and left this place where trouble were gathering. Phew. The moment they stepped out of the city gates, Lin Tian heaved a sigh of relief. His mood instantly improved and he was even happier than before. Hee, alright, stop being so smug. We still have to hurry on our way later. Looking at the crowd, Lin Li paused for a moment, then immediately summoned the tiger that he had yet to summon. Awoo. In an instant, a huge tiger that was over 10 meters long appeared in front of everyone. The younger brother and Lin Tian recognized it, but Luing didn't know of its existence. At this moment, the fighting tiger that had been summoned by Lin Li said to Lin Li and the others with a bitter look on his face, "You guys really have no shame. You were so shocked that you didn't even pay attention to me. I thought you had forgotten about me." With that, the tiger squatted down and started to act coquettishly in front of Lin Rei, as if it wanted to fight for his favor. Looking at it, Lin Li felt a surge of guilt in his heart. To be honest, in the past few years, Lin Li had almost forgotten about its existence. Lin Rei then said, Alright. Little Flame, it's my fault, alright? I'll call you out more often in the future, alright? Awoo. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the tiger jumped up in excitement. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't realize that the raging flame tiger had already raised its cultivation to the intermediate divine guard realm. Seeing how excited the raging flame tiger was, Lin Rei quickly calmed it down. Alright, stop jumping. Hurry up and bring us out of here. After hearing Lin Rei's order, the excited raging flame tiger immediately stopped its crazy behavior. It squatted down and waited for Lin Rei and the others to jump on its back. Then, it rushed out in the direction that Lin Rei pointed. Time often passed very quickly. In the blink of an eye, Lin Rei had already left for a day and a night. The next day, Liao Jun, who had received Lin Rei's promise, woke up very early to prepare for the success of becoming sworn brothers today. Alright, look at you. You're so eager that you think we're throwing ourselves at you. At this moment, Liao Yuning, who couldn't stand it, said coldly to Liao Jun, TSK. He had long known about his sister's indifference. Although she said so, it didn't stop Liao Jun from getting busy. Soon. After everything was ready, Liao Jun said to Liao Yuning, wait here. I'm going to find brother Lin Rei. After saying that, he instantly activated his cultivation and arrived in front of Lin Rei's door. Looking at the closed door, Liao Jun frowned and knocked on the door. Brother Lin Rei, are you up? After Liao Jun finished speaking, the room was silent for a long time. Then, Liao Jun called again. But this time, just like before, there was no sound or movement. At this moment, he couldn't care less. He released his divine sense and instantly entered the room. The empty room fell into Liao Jun's mind. Immediately, Liao Jun frowned. Then, he came to the room where Lin Tian and his younger brother had stayed before. He released his divine sense and found that there was no one inside, just like Lin Rei's room. No, Lin Rei wouldn't do that. After saying that, Liao Jun went back to Lu Ying's door like a madman. He knocked on the door first. When he didn't hear any movement, Liao Jun's divine sense entered the room. It was as clean as their room. There was no sign of anyone inside at all. It didn't seem like someone had stayed here last night. He left without saying goodbye. Chapter 535. Liao Yuning had been waiting at the altar for a long time, but she didn't see her brother come back. Suddenly, she became anxious. No, nothing will happen to him, right? She loved her brother very much and would never let him get hurt. Seeing that her brother didn't show any signs of coming back, she walked towards Lin Rei's rented place. Along the way, Liao Yuning kept praying that nothing would happen to her brother. Along the way, Liao Yuning was in a state of anxiety. However, when Liao Yuning arrived at Lin Rei's place, a familiar back appeared in her sight. Disappointed? Sad? Looking at the familiar back, Liao Yuning didn't know what her brother had gone through. At this moment, his back looked so bleak. Slowly, with a heavy heart, she came to Liao Jun's side and patted him on the shoulder. She said in a deep voice, "What's wrong? What happened?" "Sister." At this moment, Liao Jun, who was sitting on the ground, heard his sister's voice. He immediately turned around and raised his head. He didn't know how long his tears had been flowing. There were deep tear stains on his cheeks. "You. What's wrong with you?" Looking at her brother, Liao Yuning couldn't calm down. She had never made her brother cry. However, at this moment, seeing her brother so sad, how could she not feel heartache? "Sister, Lin Rei. Lin Rei and the others are all gone." "What?" Hearing her brother's words, Liao Yuning frowned and then flashed to Lin Rei's door. She pushed the door open and saw that the room was empty. Suddenly, Liao Yuning's face became gloomy. She released her divine sense and rushed into the room next to her. The room that Lin Tian and her male brother stayed in was the same. It was very clean and didn't look like the fruit last night. Seeing this, Liao Yuning's heart was gloomy to the extreme. Anger surged in an instant. "Humph, bastard, how dare you lie to my brother? You're dead meat." At this moment, after confirming that Lin Rei and the others had left, Liao Yuning didn't know why. Although she was angry, she didn't hate them. Although she didn't hate them, there was a trace of unwillingness. "Sister, do you think I made Lin Rei feel bad in some way? Or does he mind my identity as a disciple of the devil's sect and doesn't want to be friends with me?" Liao Yuning was in a difficult position. She didn't know what Lin Li was thinking and couldn't guess what he was thinking. "So, little brother, do you really want to find Lin Rei and the others?" Suddenly, an idea came to Liao Yuning's mind when she saw her brother so sad. "Yes." Hearing his sister Liao Yuning's words, Liao Jun hurriedly turned around and said, "I really want to be friends with Lin Rei," but he, looking at her brother, Liao Yuning immediately voiced out her thoughts. "Since that's the case, that's fine. I'll help you catch him. You stay here and participate in the Tendo competition obediently, okay?" "What?" Hearing his sister Liao Yuning's words, Liao Jun was stunned. At this moment, he had already guessed what the other party was going to do next. Indeed, the following words were all silently thought by Liao Jun: "I'm going to find Lin Rei and bring him back to you. No matter where he is, as long as he has wronged you, I'll catch him and bring him back to you regardless of the strength and background behind him." Liao Yuning's eyes were filled with determination. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't know that his departure without saying goodbye had led to such an unsalvageable situation. As for Liao Jun, looking at his sister's determined eyes, he knew that as long as she had decided on something, even if he was her younger brother, there was no way he could change her mind. "Yes, I know." Liao Jun, who had never been separated from Liao Yuning since he was young, heard that his sister had left for him. Although he was a little reluctant, he didn't want his sister to worry, so he could only pretend to be calm. All right. Since that's the case, I'll leave the rest to you. After the elder asks, just say that I have something important to do. If you really can't hide it, then tell him about my face. Remember, everything has to be done for your benefit." Speaking of this, Liao Yuning nodded her head and circulated her spiritual energy rapidly. She began to form strange hand seals. Suddenly, the surroundings moved without any wind. "Sister, what are you doing? Do you know what you're doing?" At this moment, when he sensed the movement of the surrounding martial arts, Liao Jun frowned and was shocked. His face instantly turned gloomy. At this moment, his sister Liao Yuning had used the Falling Star Pavilion's very vicious tracking technique, Li Li. The caster's cultivation would drop a small level as the price. Only in this way could the caster find the person she wanted to find. Seeing this, Liao Jun panicked and immediately stepped forward to stop her. Dodge. Just when Liao Jun's power entered Li, Liao Yuning panicked. Although she was the one who cast the technique, if the person who came in carelessly was not careful, it would be very dangerous. She might even lose her life. Looking at his sister, Liao Jun stopped. He didn't dare to move forward. For people who knew his sister very well, he knew that his sister was a very extreme person. As long as he was in danger, she would stop casting the technique at all costs. But in the end, only she would suffer. This was not what he wanted to see. So when Liao Yuning said those words, Liao Jun didn't dare to move forward. Well, little brother, when I'm not here, you must remember to protect yourself. Don't let yourself go into a dangerous place. Do you understand? At this moment, Liao Yuning looked at her brother who grew up in front of her with a worried expression. She was very reluctant to part with him at this moment. Yes, I know. Don't worry. Good. Then. I'm leaving. Looking at her brother's smiling face, Liao Yuning's hand quickly moved. In an instant, a red line appeared in front of her eyes. Looking at him, Liao Yuning's face lit up. She waved goodbye to Liao Jun and her body quickly disappeared. She rushed out of the city. Sister, you must be careful. Seeing his sister's figure disappearing in front of him, Liao Jun felt very sad. But he didn't show it. After Liao Yuning disappeared completely, a drop of tear slid down Liao Jun's cheek and fell to the ground. For a very long time, Liao Jun was immersed in the sadness of his sister's departure. After a long time, he came back to his senses. Alas! Lin Rei, where are you? At this moment, in a valley in the east of Danzhou, Lin Rei, who was missed by the Liao siblings, was eating barbecue and drinking wine with his wife and brothers. Chapter 536. Young master, I've been cultivating very hard in here. Do you think can I stay outside for a few more days? At this moment, the raging flame tiger, who was the size of a small mountain, lowered his head and opened his mouth wide as he looked at Lin Rei with pleading eyes. At this moment, Lin Tian, who was enjoying his meal, was amused when he saw the tiger's appearance. Forget it, young master. He's too big of a target. It'll be easier to expose ourselves like this. That's right, Lei Ji. Forget it, let him go back. How could the boys not know what Lin Tian meant? When they heard Lin Tian's words, they started to kick up a fuss. You two bastards. When young master and I were together, you weren't even there yet. How dare you bully me like this now? I don't want to live anymore. When they heard the tiger's words, everyone thought he was going to flip out, but who knew that the next scene would make them burst out laughing. As the tiger spoke, he lay on the ground and started to make a scene, looking like he wouldn't get up unless you let him stay outside. Lin Rei didn't comment on their conversation from start to finish. He just sat quietly next to Lu Ying and gnawed on the bone of his phone. When the tiger, who was making a scene on the ground, saw that no one had a chance to speak to him, he stopped, turned over, and continued to eat without saying anything. Looking at the tiger, Lin Tian also said, "Young master, the tiger is a divine guard level demon beast. Let him stay outside for a while. Anyway, he'll be cultivating when he goes back anyway. Why not let him cultivate outside?" This way, when the tiger heard Lin Tian's words, it quickly lifted its huge head and looked at him in surprise. Lin Rei, who had been silent all this while, interrupted Lin Tian before he could finish speaking. "I didn't say anything. It was you guys who were talking from the beginning to the end. Moreover, when did you guys listen to me telling you not to let him go outside? Moreover, what reason do I have to not let him go outside? His cultivation is higher than both of you." Hearing Lin Rei's words, the tiger was very happy and began to move happily. Lin Tian and the male brother, the moment they heard Lin Rei's words, all of them started to move. Alright, let's go since we're all done eating. I feel like I'm going to die in the canyon of death. After everyone finished eating, Lin Rei stood up and waved at the tiger. Then, he jumped onto the tiger's back. Lu Ying and the others followed closely behind and sat on the tiger's back. Suddenly, the tiger kicked its hind legs and rushed towards Death Canyon. Along the way, in order to not enter the system, the tiger performed very well. It was basically moving forward at a fast pace. It was basically unheard of. It would only stop to rest when Lin Rei specifically emphasized it. Lin Rei was also very helpless about this, but this was a very good thing. At the very least, they could reach the danger zone of Danzhou earlier. Also, this was what Lin Rei hoped for, so Lin Rei didn't express too much about it. Time passed very quickly. Along the way, Lin Rei would stop at some places with good scenery to rest before setting off again. This kind of life lasted for a month before it finally came to an end. Hee, Death Canyon is right in front. Are you guys ready? At this moment, there was a very narrow canyon in front of them. It was a frightening place. Looking at him, Lin Rei felt inexplicably excited. Hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone nodded. Their nerves couldn't help but become alert at this moment. To be honest, they hadn't fought in a long time and were a little rusty in this aspect. Stand by at any time. Hearing these words, Lin Li turned his head to look at them, then laughed. Then, he squeezed the tiger with his legs, and instantly, he understood and charged into the gorge. Heaven's Wall City. At this moment, Heaven's Wall City could be said to be exceptionally lively. During the period when Lin Rei left, Heaven's Wall City was even more lively than before. All the major powers had arrived in Heaven's Wall City to wait for the martial arts conference to begin. During this period, Gu Saiwo had been constantly searching for Lin Rei. He was afraid that Lin Rei would cause trouble. Although he knew that Lin Rei had very strong subordinates, he was very afraid that Lin Rei would seek revenge on Qingkuan's sect. Therefore, during this period, he had mobilized almost all of Divine Sect's people, including Lu Yunhan. However, during this period of time, they couldn't even find his shadow. They also didn't expect that Lin Rei had already left this place. At this moment, it could be said to be an eventful period in the city. Deaths and injuries were unavoidable, especially between the Orthodox Tao and Devil sect. The number of casualties was extremely high. However, Lin Rei didn't notice some of these things. At this moment, he had already entered the canyon. Young master, this place gives me a very oppressive feeling. Also, there seems to be a murderous aura in front of us. At this moment, sitting on the tiger's back, Lin Rei suddenly heard 15's voice. Instantly, he frowned and had a bad feeling in his heart. What's going on? Can you feel what it is? For 15, who had broken through to Divine Sect, to say such words, that thing must be very powerful. In terms of murderous aura, Lin Rei knew that he wasn't a human. However, based on 15's words, the murderous aura in front of them seemed to be even stronger than his. I can't feel it. It's very vague. Looking ahead and recalling 15's words, Lin Rei immediately stopped the tiger. It wasn't good to move forward. He wasn't sure what the danger in front of them was. What's wrong, Lei Ji? Sensing Lin Rei's strange behavior, the young man hurriedly asked. Not only him, but even Lin Tian and Lu Ying looked at Lin Rei suspiciously after seeing Lin Rei's strange behavior, wanting to ask for an answer. It's nothing. It's just that there's something in front that we can't afford to offend. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. With a thought, he entered the system in an instant. When he arrived in a dark space, Lin Rei roared into the air. Little dragon, hurry and come out. Help me feel what the thing in front of us is. Before the person could be seen, the voice was heard first. Don't bother me. Go ask the system. He knows. Just as he said that, the little dragon spoke again. Instantly, Lin Rei followed the little dragon's instructions and asked the system, check the geographical location of this place and give me all the information. Ding dong. Okay, the system will automatically deduct the required fees. Hearing the system agree, Lin Rei was happy. However, when he thought about the deductions, Lin Rei smiled bitterly. Okay. Hurry and check it out for me. You can settle the fees yourself. At that moment, how could he care about that? All he wanted to do was to quickly solve the problem in front of him. Ding dong. The system is beginning to scan the terrain. Please wait a moment. Chapter 537. Time passed bit by bit. Lin Rei waited anxiously on the spot. He had also felt the murderous aura that 15 had mentioned earlier. In comparison, Lin Rei could say without hesitation that he was an ant and an elephant when compared to it. They were not on the same level at all. Lin Rei was very shocked. He could not imagine what kind of thing could have such a strong murderous aura. How many people did it have to kill to accumulate such a strong murderous aura? Feeling the murderous aura, Lin Rei became nervous. Everyone, quickly hide. You go in first. I'll help you out after we pass this stage. Before they could finish speaking, Lin Rei wrapped the tiger with his divine sense and instantly put it into the system. The moment they heard Lin Rei's words, they hid all the aura on their bodies without stopping. Done. Looking at them, Lin Rei smiled and did not say anything. His divine sense entered the system and waited for the system's reply. Lin Rei did not know how much time had passed. Just as Lin Rei was bored to death, the system's voice suddenly sounded. Ding dong, the system's detection is complete. Would the host like to accept it? Hearing this, Lin Rei rolled his eyes at the system in annoyance. Nonsense, of course I accept it. Ding dong, Death Canyon, originally known as Xianming, means a place that leads to the Nine Nether. However, a terrifying war once broke out here, so it became what it is now. What? The Nine Nether? Hearing the system's explanation, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with surprise, but at the same time, there was an indescribable joy on his face. It was not for anything else but to be able to go to the ghost realm to find his wife and child. That's right. The Nine Nether can also be called the ghost realm. There are many resentful spirits floating around here. Some of them are too powerful, so they begin to devour other resentful spirits to increase their strength. However, there is a very longing restriction here. Only here can they survive. If they dare to take a step out of here, they will suffer indelible consequences. Even the moment they step out of here, they will be turned into ashes. Lin Rei raised his head. This place was different from the outside world. Ever since he entered this place, Lin Rei discovered that it was daytime outside, but this place was incomparably gloomy. There was no sunlight at all, nor was there a trace of human life. Moreover, it was gloomy all year round. It was extremely terrifying. It gave people the feeling that if they squeezed in, their hair would stand on end and their hair would stand on end. Then, looking at the pitch-black system space, Lin Rei wanted to say something, but before he could say anything, the system spoke again. This place is divided into 6 levels. Each level has an extremely dangerous existence. Let's go to the one in front of you. Although you feel that he is very terrifying, it is undeniable that he is just a small fry. The stronger ones are still behind. The first level is death. The second level is comprehension. The third level is killing. The fourth level is heaven's net. The fifth level is thunder territory. As for the sixth level, Lin Rei, who was originally listening excitedly, suddenly stopped when the system mentioned the sixth level. Regarding this, Lin Rei was very helpless. The sixth level is exactly what you are looking forward to. The entrance to the ghost realm. Of course, until now, no one has been willing to try to enter the sixth level. Moreover, with your current strength, I'm afraid that you will be killed on the spot when you reach the second level of Niden, not to mention entering the ghost realm. Listening to the system talk about the division of the Death Canyon, Lin Ray was very shocked. It would be a lie to say that he was not surprised. Previously, when he saw the map about the division of the Divine Realm, it only introduced this place as a canyon. It did not say how many levels there were. Regarding this, Lin Ray was very sure that they definitely had not entered, or that the people who entered never came out. Therefore, the people outside did not know what was going on inside. Regarding this, he hesitated. He was now hesitating whether he should go in or not. Although this place could lead directly to the 9th Nether Ghost Realm, it would cost him his life. Was it worth it? This question, at this time, quickly ran through Lin Ray's mind. He asked himself if it was worth it. However, at this time, there was a voice in his mind that kept telling him that it was worth it. A few hours had passed. This question kept appearing in Lin Ray's mind. Just when he was uncertain, the figure of his dead wife and child appeared at this moment. The two figures that Lin Ray thought were deeply buried in the quilt and did not want him to think about appeared at this moment. Their innocent faces, her frown and smile, her happiness, anger, sorrow, and joy, all rushed into Lin Ray's mind at this moment. No, it's worth it. How could my wife and child not be worth it? Thinking of this, the demonic haze on Lin Ray's face disappeared completely, leaving only a relaxed smile. Well, what's your answer? Do you want to go down or stop here and turn around immediately? Of course, if you do that, I won't look for you. Moreover, I will give you a chance to enter the ghost realm for free. Hearing this news, Lin Ray was very tempted, but this was not what he wanted. He could not afford to reap something without sowing. Forget it. I haven't reached the point where I need charity from others. Besides, the purpose of this trip was to gain experience. It was a coincidence that I came to the 9th Nether Ghost Realm. Since that's the case, why should I waste such an opportunity? I can cultivate and find my wife and child. Why not kill two birds with one stone? Hearing this, the system couldn't help but smile, but it didn't show it. Instead, it said in a deep voice, since you've decided, then do as you please. But I have to congratulate you, because of your determination, you've successfully completed the hidden mission. What, a hidden task? Lin Ray had never thought of such a situation, nor did he know that there was such a thing. Regarding this, Lin Ray was very excited. He had not received such a gift bag for a long time. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the hidden task, adhere to the Taoist heart. Does the host accept the task reward? Accept. Seeing that the system had been speaking in such an official manner, Lin Ray was really helpless. This kind of question did not need to be asked at all. Okay, please begin to accept. With that, an oversized gift box appeared above Lin Ray's head out of thin air. Looking at him, Lin Ray was very excited. He waved his hand above his head, and a strong suction force gushed out in an instant, rushing toward the gift box. Suddenly, the suction force wrapped the gift box. The next moment, the huge gift box fell down toward Lin Ray below. Damn it! Looking at the gift box that was falling toward him, Lin Ray's heart skipped a beat, and he quickly shouted to the side to dodge. With a bang, the gift box fell to the ground, and a loud sound was heard. Lin Ray's face broke out in cold sweat. Just hearing the sound made him feel scared, not to mention being hit. TSK, look at you. Suddenly, it was the little dragon's voice. The moment he heard his voice, Lin Ray turned his head in surprise, only to see the little dragon standing behind him at the moment, looking at him unhappily. The little dragon's expression made Lin Ray very confused. At this moment, Lin Ray was still asking himself in his heart, I don't think I have offended him. Humph, you brat, if you had agreed to the system's request just now and went back and got the opportunity to enter the world of spirits and souls, then I'm afraid you won't be able to see me in the future. As soon as the words came out, Lin Ray's heart trembled. Only then did he know why the little dragon had such an expression. However, he expressed doubts about the little dragon, saying that he would not be able to see him in the future. Linli looked at Xiaolong with a puzzled look in his eyes. Xiaolong, of course, understood the puzzlement in Linli's eyes. Xiaolong immediately explained, "If you can't be firm on your own path of cultivation, then tell me, why should I help you? Help you become a strong expert? Help you find your wife? You almost found out just now." Hearing his words, Lin Rei completely understood at this moment. At the same time, Lin Rei was also rejoicing in his heart. He was glad that he made the right choice. If he knew that because of his choice, he lost a fellow family member, a family member, the little dragon, he would definitely regret it to death. Thank goodness, thank goodness. Looking at the little dragon, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with joy. Okay, I got it. In the future, I will definitely not let other things affect my path of cultivation. This is my promise to you, Lin Rei, a promise to you. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon chuckled. Then, the unhappiness on his face disappeared and was replaced by curiosity. Okay, I won't argue with you about this matter. Hurry up and see what's inside. Regarding the little dragon's change, Lin Rei really didn't know what to say. Before, he looked like he was about to die, but now he was full of smiles. Lin Rei helplessly shook his head. Okay. After saying that, Lin Rei turned to look at the huge gift box in front of him. It would be a lie to say that he wasn't excited. Looking at the gift box in front of him with great excitement, Lin Rei reached out and touched it. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for receiving the gift. Please take your time to appreciate it. The system's voice suddenly sounded. Just as Lin Rei touched the gift box, the system's voice sounded. Immediately, the hand that touched the gift box subconsciously retracted. Ha 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 ha, hearing the laughter, Lin Rei turned to look at the little dragon who was laughing uncontrollably. His face became awkward. He secretly scolded the system in his heart. Damn, can't you give me a heads up? It's real. It's always like this. You make me feel very helpless. The awkward look caught Lin Rei a little off guard. In order not to let the little dragon see through him, he immediately shifted his attention to the gift box. Okay, hurry up and open the gift box. After saying that, Lin Rei tapped on the two words that opened in front of him. Instantly, the gift box began to open. 3 boxes popped out from inside. The first one was enough to surprise Lin Rei. Ding dong, congratulations on receiving the 4th level of the Chaos Scripture. You have reached the divinity realm and can begin to cultivate. Looking at the cultivation method in front of him, Lin Rei was so surprised that he couldn't control himself. He knew that the probability of bringing out the Chaos Scripture was very low. Lin Rei was very happy about this. Hee, your luck is always so good. Now, you can cultivate it directly. No need to wait any longer. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei nodded happily. Then, he put the 4th level of the Chaos Scripture into the system storage. In the second box, there was a bow and arrow. However, there was only a bow and no arrow. Lin Rei was puzzled about this. Ding dong, split the heavens bow. It uses spirit energy as an arrow and draws the bow with one's cultivation. Once the bow is drawn, all demons and everything will be destroyed. It is immeasurable. However, the requirements for the user's physical fitness are very strict. One must be at the divinity realm middle stage to use it. Otherwise, one will suffer from the backlash. Split the heavens bow. The system's introduction made Lin Rei's eyes light up. He didn't expect the split the heavens bow to be among the gifts. Even an idiot could understand the meaning of the 2 words split the heavens. Not to mention, Lin Rei was such a smart person. I really suspect that you are the child of destiny. This split the heavens bow is the inheritance of the heaven splitter. If used well, it will be very powerful. Not to mention an ultimate god, even a saint will be killed in one move. At this moment, the little dragon was so shocked that he couldn't control himself. He even started to suspect that his master was the child of destiny. Is that so? At this moment, Lin Rei was also very surprised. He reached out to grab the split the heavens bow, but he failed. Just as he was about to grab it, he was bounced away by the split the heavens bow. Lin Rei was even more surprised. It was the first time he had seen such an automatic defense weapon. At this moment, just like you laughed. Seeing Lin Rei's defeated look, he was very happy. Don't think about it. Wait until your physical body reaches the middle stage of the God realm. At this time, it's nothing more than a fool's dream if you want to pick it up. Looking at just like you smile, Lin Rei didn't have a chance. Instead, he silently put away the split the heavens bow. Ding dong, the spiritual fruit can increase one's spiritual power. It is very helpful for alchemists and formation masters. It can directly increase one's spiritual power by a large level. There are no side effects for those who consume it, and it even has some benefits for the future. What? There's such a thing? Today, nothing surprised Lin Rei the most. The spiritual fruit was what he needed the most now. Can I eat it now? With the previous example, Lin Rei turned his head and asked the little dragon. He didn't want to be laughed at by the little dragon. Hee, you can eat it. Just like what he said, there are benefits to eating it. After getting permission, Lin Rei couldn't wait to reach out and grab the spiritual fruit. Looking at the spiritual fruit in his hand, Lin Rei's face revealed an excited smile. This kind of thing was very precious. He believed that there shouldn't be such a thing in the God realm. Ha, kid, you know your stuff. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei knew that he had peeped into his heart again. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to answer his words so accurately. The little dragon didn't explain, but continued, you're right. Of course, there's no such thing in the God realm. Even the holy world doesn't have it. This thing grew on the banks of the Wula River. This thing is very precious. If people in the God realm or the holy world knew about it, you can imagine the consequences. Chapter 538. Upon hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei became excited. Regardless of where he was or the murderous aura around him, the moment the little dragon finished speaking, Lin Rei opened his mouth and the mental fruit instantly turned into a bolt of lightning and flew into Lin Rei's mouth. Let me tell you, this mental fruit is... The little dragon was completely unaware of Lin Rei's actions. When he turned his head, he saw that Lin Rei's hands were empty and the mental fruit was gone. The little dragon was stunned. The only conclusion was that the mental fruit had been eaten by Lin Rei. Thinking of this, the little dragon really had the urge to kill. What's wrong? Looking at the little dragon's nervous expression, Lin Rei had a bad premonition. What do you think? Although you can eat the mental fruit, it has to be eaten separately, not one piece at a time. Its power is not something you can resist. Even a divine being would fight for it. Tell me, what can you, a little cultivator in the divine weapon realm, do? Having said that, the little dragon didn't waste any more time. Immediately after, it struck Lin Rei's back with a huge and gentle force. A huge amount of energy began to be transmitted into Lin Rei's body. Feeling this scene, Lin Rei knew that he made a mistake again. He immediately used his inner vision to spy on the little dragon's energy. Slowly, the energy Xiaolong poured into Zhao Longfei's body helped him seal many of his vital acupoints. Finally, it helped him protect his heart meridians, and then his mind. Finally, Zhao Longfei's energy caught up with a huge spiritual force. At this moment, feeling the huge spiritual power, Lin Rei regretted it. If only he had listened to the little dragon's words. Now, it was like this every time. Towards this enormous amount of energy, Lin Li didn't know what to say. All he could say was that if this energy had entered his mind, he would probably have become an idiot by now. An idiot without any consciousness. Silly boy, can't you wait for me to finish speaking before absorbing it? You're always in such a hurry. Can't you let me be at ease? The little dragon's face started to turn pale. Although it was complaining about Lin Ray in its heart, the energy in its hands continued to transfer. It didn't stop at all. Instead, it increased the transfer. Time ticked by. Lin Ray did not know how long it had been, but he knew that it must have been a long time. During this period of time, Lin Ray's cultivation had unknowingly made a breakthrough to mid-stage Divine Guard. However, his cultivation was still floating and he had no choice but to continue to strengthen himself. Otherwise, all traces of his cultivation would be destroyed. Lin Ray could do nothing about this. After all, this was done by the little dragon and he couldn't say anything about it. However, he was aware of the condition of Lin Ray's body. But he had to do this. If he didn't raise his cultivation as soon as possible, that huge amount of mental energy would cause Lin Ray to explode. However, during this period of time, the little dragon had been continuously transferring energy to Lin Ray. As a result, his aura was very weak at this moment. It was so weak that it could be blown away by a gust of wind. His body had turned from a corpse to a transparent one. His face was filled with a bitter smile, but he didn't change his actions because of his body. Now you really know how to torture people, huh? If it weren't for the fact that my energy was enough to suppress the energy of the psychic fruit, I'm afraid you would have become a soul like me. The little dragon's brows bunched when he saw Lin Ray's calm expression. His eyes focused and he instantly released the hand that was stuck on Lin Ray's back. But at this moment, his other hand, which was also very useful, began to rapidly form mysterious seals. If Lin Ray were to see this, he would certainly be astonished. This was because each of these seals was extremely powerful. He knew that he wasn't a match for any of these seals. Seal the heavens, lock. Instantly, the seals began to move faster and faster. At this moment, the two words seal the heavens were shouted out. Instantly, a pair of hands were placed on Linley's temples. Those mysterious runes instantly entered Linley's mind, locking down that mysterious spiritual energy. Humph, the light of an ant dares to compete with the brilliance of the sun and moon. Be quiet. Sensing that the mental energy was still not obedient under his seal, he immediately pressed another seal on it. In an instant, that squirming mental energy quieted down. After doing all this, the little dragon's body's energy could only support him to stand. Just as he moved the mental energy in Lin Ray's mind, his body loosened and his body instantly fell outside. Cough. Finally, it's over. If it had continued for a while, I'm afraid I would really have to say goodbye to this world. Looking at the sitting Lin Ray and his weak body, the little dragon couldn't help but smile bitterly. At this moment, Lin Ray didn't wake up in time. It wasn't because of anything else, but because this time, not only did he have a breakthrough in his cultivation, even his alchemy, formation, and weapon refining had all improved at this moment. Feeling grateful, Lin Ray was very excited. Misfortune is a blessing in disguise, and a blessing in disguise, ha. At this moment, Lin Ray was very happy, but he didn't know that the little dragon who did all this for him was about to go into a deep sleep. This time, he didn't know how long it would take for him to wake up. Is it worth it? The stiff electronic synthesized voice sounded. Sitting on the ground, his body was already transparent. And, the little dragon said with a smile, it's not worth it or not, only willing or not. I'm willing to do it for him. Even if I die, I'm willing to do it for him. At this moment, the little dragon's tone was very firm. His eyes were shining as he looked at Lin Ray who was sitting in front of him. Do you know how weak you are right now? With that, a series of words appeared in front of the little dragon. Name, Sky Dragon. Gender, male. Age, unable to display. Status, weapon. Spirit. Status, weak. Cultivation, Tendo Sage. All victories, the Supreme of Hongmeng. So what? So what if he's the Supreme of Hongmeng? I believe that this kid's future will be immeasurable. Moreover, it's good that I leave now. It's good that he learns to be independent. He can't come to me every time he needs help. Otherwise, he'll really be ruined in the future. At this point, the little dragon revealed a relaxed smile. Looking at Lin Rei, who was cultivating, the little dragon supported himself with both hands on the ground and stood up with difficulty. He limped and trembled as he walked towards the depths of the system. Right, when can the system be upgraded? The little dragon strolled and asked the system in a weak voice. Although he didn't intend to care about Lin Rei, he still couldn't help but want to ask. Hee hee. The system chuckled. Soon. I've been in the divine realm for so long. Although the spiritual energy here isn't pure, it's still better than Mississippi. So it won't take long. At most, a few months. Hearing the system's voice, the little dragon nodded. Okay, this time I'll help him open the scripture pavilion. When I'm not around, that should be what he needs the most. After saying that, the little dragon closed his mouth and walked into a dark cave. The moment he entered, the cave disappeared completely. Well said. Should we let go? Looking at the little dragon who disappeared, the system couldn't help but say. Then, it also disappeared. Suddenly, the entire system quieted down. Go to the Mudpill Palace, Shenhui Sea, Chongxian Gate. Go to the Spirit Sea and fuse with it. At this moment, Lin Rei was completely unaware of the little dragon's situation. He also didn't know that even before he left, the little dragon still didn't let go of his arrangements for the future. At this moment, Lin Rei was wholeheartedly focused on cultivation. His only thought at this moment was to quickly break through those 3 levels. This way, the chances of entering those levels would increase by a few notches. Not only for himself, but also for Lu Ying, for Lin Tian, and for everyone else. Time passed little by little. During this time, Lin Rei constantly compressed his spiritual energy so that he could break through as soon as possible. However, it was very painful to compress spiritual energy. Every day, Lin Rei compressed it to the limit, but he didn't dare to continue. It wasn't that he didn't want to, but he couldn't. Every time he reached a certain limit, he would feel terrified and uneasy. Chapter 539. Lin Rei's painful roar continued, but they were powerless. Even if they used all their strength, even if they worked together, they still couldn't break free from the shackles on their bodies. They could only listen to their young master's painful roar. Soon, soon, I will be a grandmaster, array master, alchemist, and refiner. At this moment, looking at the sea of consciousness being compressed bit by bit, it was about to reach his expectations. At this moment, Lin Rei was very excited. Wang, at this moment, the compressed spiritual force shook violently at this moment. Suddenly, Lin Rei quickly tightened his mind, and he didn't want to act rashly. Damn, can it still work? Isn't it just a little emotional fluctuation? Is it necessary to do this? After stabilizing his mind, he looked at the fluctuating compressed sea of consciousness again. Suddenly, Lin Rei was speechless. It was about to be completed, but he didn't expect that because of his own thoughts, the compressed sea of consciousness that was about to be successfully rebounded. But fortunately, Lin Rei stabilized his mind in time, and the rebound was not too fierce, otherwise, Lin Rei would have no place to cry. Alas! It seems that I have to change it in the future, otherwise, when will this end? Looking at the rebound of the sea of consciousness, Lin Rei smiled bitterly, and instantly increased the injection of spiritual qi, and instantly added the power of compression. This time, Lin Rei didn't feel the pain of compression like before, and it was much easier than before. And Lin Rei also felt that this time, it was not only easier, but the absorption of spiritual force was more powerful. This was what Lin Rei didn't expect. Seeing this scene, an idea appeared. This idea seemed crazy, but it was even crazier to do it. A little carelessness would fail, and what he had done before would be wasted. This price was very high. For a time, Lin Rei's heart was tangled. He didn't know if he was right, but now he couldn't go out and ask the little dragon. Lin Rei's conflicted feelings gave him a headache. He didn't know if his method was right or not, and he didn't know if his idea would work. 3 hours later, Lin Rei's conflicted emotions gradually calmed down. Looking at his spirit sea that was even larger than before, Lin Rei's previous thoughts were confirmed. Forget it. If I die, so be it. I'll just start all over again. Thinking of this, Lin Rei began to implement the idea that he had thought of before. In an instant, all of his spiritual energy was released, and the compressed spirit sea began to rebound. Little by little, it was released. Hee hee. Lin Rei's heart ached as he watched his spirit sea slowly rebound. However, when he thought about the benefits of his previous mistake, Lin Rei felt relieved. It was difficult to compress, but the rebound was very fast. Not long after, his spirit sea became the same as before he broke through. Hee hee. Looking at the deathly still sea of consciousness, Linley chuckled and immediately recovered his spiritual energy. The moment his spiritual energy completely recovered, he instantly mobilized all of his spiritual energy into the sea of consciousness and began to compress it at an extremely fast speed. This time, Lin Rei did everything he could to break through. He didn't care about the price. Right now, Linley's consciousness was beginning to compress at a speed visible to the naked eye. Slowly, bit by bit, his consciousness began to compress. But right now, the amount of spiritual energy contained within his consciousness was twice as large as before. Linley was extremely excited. Sure enough, my previous idea was correct. Thinking of this, Lin Rei became even more excited. He began to desperately operate the chaos scripture to compress his spirit sea. This time, the compression could be said to be unprecedentedly fast. It didn't take long. Because of the previous foundation, the compression this time was perfect. Moreover, it was many times stronger than the previous compression. Looking at his spirit sea that was only one step away from completing the compression and breaking through, Lin Rei was excited. However, he had learned a lesson from his predecessor, so he didn't affect any of his emotions. Come on, the last step. Success or failure depends on this. Looking at the spirit sea that had been compressed to the extreme in front of him, majestic and vigorous spiritual energy quickly poured into it. Break for me. Suddenly, a loud roar came out of Lin Rei's mouth. Then, a huge amount of spiritual energy quickly carried out the last step of the compression of the spirit sea. Boom! His spirit sea was compressed to the extreme and instantly exploded. A vast sea of spirit sea appeared. Hee hee hee. After breaking through, Lin Rei looked at his spirit sea with ease. Looking at the spirit sea that was more than 10 times bigger than before, Lin Rei was so excited that he trembled. Hee hee, if the little dragon knew about this, he would probably go crazy with joy. Looking at the spirit sea, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of the little dragon that helped him. Then, he immediately stopped cultivating and opened his eyes to look around, looking for the little dragon. He stood up and turned around to look for the little dragon. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the little dragon. Little dragon, come out. I've broken through to the master level. Little dragon? Just like that, he looked at the sky with joy and kept sharing his joy with the little dragon. However, after a long time, Lin Rei also felt that something was wrong. Usually, when he heard that Lin Rei had broken through, or when the little dragon had something good, the little dragon would appear to mock or teach Lin Rei. But now, sensing that something was amiss, Linley immediately started searching frantically. In the system, as long as he could go to a place where he could go, be it the training field, the alchemy field, the equipment refining field, the array formation room, the lottery space, the information space, or the war general lottery space, he searched everywhere he could, but there was still no sign of Xiaolong. Linley instantly panicked. He was really panicking. System, come out. When he thought that there might be someone who knew, Lin Rei roared at the sky. The little dragon was both a teacher and a friend to him, but more importantly, Lin Ray had completely regarded him as his family. System, that's enough. Stop shouting. Just as Lin Ray roared at the sky again, the system came out. Its cold voice made Lin Ray feel uncomfortable all over. Tell me, where did the little dragon go? Why can't I find him anywhere in the system that I can go? He closed the door and looked at the sky. He wanted to know if the little dragon was safe and if his life was in danger. He didn't care about anything else. Haha. Looking at Lin Ray's appearance, the system laughed. Okay, you don't have to look anymore. The weapon spirit used up all his energy to save you. His originally solid body also changed into facial features, so he had no choice but to restore it again. During this time, you can go on your own, and, at this point, the system paused for a moment and then said again, also, the little dragon also said that he intends to let you go on your own for a while. Didn't you notice? Every time you are in trouble, the little dragon will come in to help you. That time, you solved it yourself. We recognized you as our master to improve your cultivation, not to come to us for help every time you encounter a problem. If that's the case, what's the point? Yes. Hearing the system's words, Linley's heart was filled with worry, complicated emotions, and confusion. But more than that, he was unsure. The system was right. Thinking back to the time when he was in trouble, he would go to the little dragon to solve it. He didn't seem to have really experienced life and death. Thinking of this, Lin Ray closed his eyes. The aura on his body began to undergo some subtle changes that even he himself couldn't feel. And at this time, Lin Ray's realm began to improve rapidly. The realm that was originally incompatible with his cultivation began to catch up with his cultivation. Early divine weapon, late divine weapon, early divine guard. He continued to observe until he reached the middle stage of the divine guard realm. Finally, he came to a stop. Lin Ray understood. I know. You're right. If I rely on myself, everything is illusory. Only my own strength is real. Don't worry, I will be strong. Having said that, Lin Ray turned around and prepared to leave. Before he left, he didn't forget to remind the system. Take care of the little dragon. If anything happens to him, inform me immediately. Having said that, Lin Ray didn't stay any longer. With a thought, he disappeared and returned to his original body. Haha. Looking at the current Lin Ray, the system laughed twice and disappeared into the void. Phew, at this moment, in the Death Canyon, Lin Ray, who had returned to his original body, opened his eyes and heaved a long sigh of relief. At this moment, Lin Tian, who had been standing there for a long time, suddenly realized that Lin Ray's aura had changed. He couldn't explain the change, but he felt that the current Lin Ray gave him a mysterious feeling. Not only Lin Tian, but even Lu Ying, who was next to him, and his own male brother felt the same way. They all felt that Linley had changed mysteriously, but they couldn't put their finger on it. Seeing that everyone's eyes were on him, Lin Ray smiled awkwardly. That. Show. I've been cultivating for a long time. Did anything happen here? Although Lin Ray didn't mind them looking at him, it had been a long time, so Lin Ray felt quite embarrassed. Upon hearing Lin Ray's question, Lin Tian began to report to Lin Ray. No, nothing happened here. Also, the huge murderous aura from before has disappeared. Oh. Hearing the report, Lin Ray was surprised. He immediately released his divine sense and rushed to the place where he discovered the murderous aura. After exploring the sea, he found that the murderous aura had disappeared. What surprised Lin Ray was that the murderous aura from before had also decreased by a lot. What's going on? This abnormal situation made Lin Ray uneasy. Logically speaking, there should be someone very strong in this place. Just like what the system said, there were 6 floors here. Logically speaking, there should be someone strong guarding each floor. But what's the situation now? Chapter 540. However, after Lin Rei's investigation, there was indeed no murderous aura. It was just that the death aura was more intense than before. Seeing this situation, Lin Rei turned his head and said to Lu Ying and the other two, "Be careful later. The dangers here are beyond our imagination. Furthermore, the dangers here are different from other places. There are dangers everywhere. If you're not careful, you'll die without a burial ground." As he spoke, he waved his hand and a few rays of light instantly flew out, flying directly in front of the three of them and entering their bodies. "I've set up some Emperor-level formations on your bodies. I believe that they should be able to help you resist for a while when you're smiling. If you encounter any danger, quickly gather around me, alright?" At this moment, Lin Rei was very nervous. He didn't want to lose any of them here. Got it." Hearing Lin Rei's concern and warning, the passers-by nodded repeatedly in agreement. For a place like this, they didn't dare to act recklessly. Alright, let's go." With that, Lin Rei turned around and led everyone deeper into the area. He knew that this was only the edge of the first level. If he really wanted to talk about it, this might not even be the boundary of the first level. Like thieves, the four of them carefully advanced forward. With each step, Lin Li would carefully scan the surroundings to see if there were any dangers, so as to ensure the safety of his group. They moved very slowly. Lin Rei himself couldn't believe it. It felt like they'd walked for a very long time. In the end, when he turned his head to look, he realized that they'd only walked less than 10 meters. Regarding this, Lin Rei was very helpless, but there was nothing he could do about it. Without the little dragon, Lin Rei suddenly felt empty in his heart. He didn't feel safe at all. Sigh, looks like I've really formed a kind of dependence on the little dragon. Looks like I'll have to change it in the future. At this point, Lin Rei continued walking forward. This walk took a long time. It was dark here, so he didn't know how many days had passed. During this period of time, from the beginning to the end of the Tendo conference in the outside world, everyone used all their strength in order to fight for the first place and then obtain the reward from the Tendo to become the number one in the divine realm. However, to do this, one also needed strength. The small sects and small sects were all defeated. The top experts of the large sects were all on the stage, including the Devil's Sect and the three great sects. They were all in the top 10. Regarding this, the so-called disciples of the righteous sects were of course unwilling. Subsequently, they joined forces to suppress the three demonic sections. After a round of battles, the Soul Refining Sect and the Corpse Ghost Sect were all defeated. Only Liao Jun was left. In order to fulfill his sister Liao Yuning's request, he persevered until the end and was in the top 2. The others were all eliminated. In the end, other than Liao Jun from the Falling Star Pavilion, there was only Tian Tong from the Qiankuan sect. Originally, he had a 100% chance of winning. However, after the previous round of battles, Liao Jun had used up too much of his spirit energy. Basically, his spirit energy had dried up. If the demonic sects didn't cultivate their physical bodies, he would have been killed by now. In the end, the Qiankuan sect obtained victory in the Heavenly Tao Conference, and the Heavenly Tao Divine Qi artifact bestowed by the Heavenly Tao became the sect protecting treasure of the Qiankuan sect. As for those who didn't obtain a Heavenly Tao Divine Qi artifact, they were praised by their elders. Time passed by very quickly. A month passed just like that. After the Tendo conference, the Heaven's Wall City returned to its usual state. Everyone was busy with their own things. As for the various sects that came to participate in the Tendo conference, they all returned with their elders after the conference ended. Of course, there was one exception. That was Gu Si from the Divine Sect. Although he was in the Divine King realm, he got a good title in this Tendo conference. Just as the Pang Long group returned to their sects, Gu Si left. The answer was simple. He was looking for Lin Rei, who had disappeared for a long time. Lu Yunhan tried to stop him, but in the end, she didn't insist on Gu Si. Lin Rei, who was in the depths of the Death Canyon, didn't know about any of this. At this moment, Lin Rei was leading Lin Tian and the others towards the entrance of the second level. In the past month, Lin Rei and the others finally arrived at the depths of the Death Canyon. After all, they had walked for a long time. They didn't think that they hadn't entered the first level. Behind him, Liao Yuning, a god king, had followed him all the way from Heaven's Wall City. In the end, he gritted his teeth and followed Lin Li's footsteps all the way here. Looking at the gray and gloomy space in front of him, he felt a chill run down his spine. Humph, bastard. Why did you have to come here for no reason? I really don't know what you're thinking. Just you wait. When I find you, I'll skin you alive. Although Liao Yuning's words were harsh, the concern in his eyes couldn't be concealed. It was just that he didn't know it. As for the existence behind him, Lin Rei didn't know. Of course, even if he knew, he wouldn't stop. After all, there was a chance to save his wife and child. He couldn't give it up no matter what. Phew, after walking for a long time, this place was still gloomy. They couldn't see any other colors and couldn't tell the direction. Lin Rei was moved and stopped. Changli heaved a sigh of relief and looked ahead helplessly. Damn it, how big is this place? It's been so long and we still haven't walked out. The grumbling Lin Li didn't stop. The moment he stopped, he released his divine sense and began to observe the surroundings. 10 minutes later, Lin Li disappointedly retracted his divine sense. This was because there was nothing but death aura in the surroundings. Brother Lei, don't waste time and don't consume your mind sense. I just found that if you use your mind sense here, it will be devoured by some kind of energy. So, we'd better be careful. At this moment, the young man beside him felt Lin Rei's mind sense and immediately said to him. What? Hearing the young man's words, Lin Rei was shocked and immediately released his cultivation to feel. Sure enough, it was as he said, but he was too eager to find where the entrance to the second floor was, so he ignored it. At this moment, seeing that his mind sense was being devoured at a very slow rate, Lin Rei quickly withdrew his mind sense and sealed his mind sense to prevent it from leaking out. After doing all this, Lin Rei used the same method on Lin Tian and the other two. In the end, their mind sense was also sealed by Lin Rei. At this point, Lin Rei was really relieved. Let's go. Don't stay here any longer. After saying that, Lin Li led them forward. Although he really wanted to stay, this place was too strange. No one could guarantee that a monstrous beast that none of them could deal with would appear from somewhere else. If that happened, it would truly be a tragedy. Once again, they set foot on the journey. This time, everyone was 120 times more alert in order to not let themselves miss any strange places. 5 days had passed. In these 5 days, the more Lin Rei thought about it, the more he felt that something was wrong. What happened to the 6th floor? What happened to the powerful existences? At this moment, not a single one appeared. At this moment, just when Lin Rei was full of helplessness, Lin Tian suddenly called out in confusion. Suddenly, everyone's eyes were focused on him. They all looked at him with doubtful eyes, hoping for an answer. Lin Tian understood the meaning of everyone's gaze. He immediately pointed forward and said with a tone full of surprise, "Young master, look, is there a stone tablet in Millennium?" Huh? Hearing Lin Tian's words, Lin Rei hurriedly turned to look in the direction he was pointing at. Indeed, from afar, there was a huge stone tablet towering over 100 meters in front of them. Seeing this, Lin Rei was pleasantly surprised. Without caring about his image, he hugged Lin Tian's head and kissed him hard on the forehead. Then, he led everyone towards the stone tablet. When Lin Rei finished kissing Lin Tian, Lu Ying, who was next to him, was unhappy. He looked at Lin Tian with hostility the entire time. Lin Tian couldn't do anything about Lu Ying's hostility. He could only hide if he could, but if he couldn't, he could only smile embarrassedly. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't know about their situation. At this moment, Lin Rei only wanted to see what was written on the stone tablet. He was thinking about the entrance to the second floor. Very quickly, everyone arrived in front of the stone tablet. Lin Ray looked at it excitedly and hopefully. Then, as if he was struck by lightning, he stood there dumbfounded. Because what he couldn't see wasn't anything else. Although there was an entrance, it wasn't to the second floor, but to the first floor. At the same time, Lin Tian and the others who were with Linli also saw the stone stele. Their first reaction was to see Linli shine like the setting sun. All of them were stunned. After a long while, everyone finally regained their senses and looked at the words on the stone tablet. At this moment, Lin Ray really wanted to smash the stone tablet into pieces. F***ck, after walking for so long, we only reached the entrance to the first floor. I was wondering why there wasn't any danger. If I knew this would happen, I would have walked faster. At this moment, Lin Ray thought about how he felt there was danger and walked very slowly. He wanted to slap himself for wasting so much time. At the same time, the thing that Lin Ray hated the most was the thing that emitted the murderous aura. Until now, he still couldn't figure out what that thing was. Turning around and looking at the first floor, Lin Ray thought about the name of the first floor that was detected by the system. His whole body relaxed. Death. Although this name was very suitable for this place, it was also filled with all kinds of deadly dangers. Let's go. Since we're here, what are we waiting for? You can do it even without the little dragon by your side. Looking at the entrance to the first floor filled with death aura, Lin Ray couldn't help but encourage himself in his heart. Chapter 541. As he spoke, he did as he was told. Emboldened, Linli led the three of them through the entrance to the first floor and into the first floor. Boom! Just as Lin Ray and the others stepped through the entrance to the first floor, a loud noise was heard. The sudden loud noise caused their hearts to tremble violently. They did not understand what was going on. Lin Ray instinctively wanted to release his consciousness to find out what was going on. But when he released his consciousness, he remembered that he had sealed it for fear of being devoured. But when he thought that there should be no problem here, Lin Ray released a strand of his consciousness. After releasing it, there were no signs of being devoured. Lin Ray felt relieved and removed all the seals. In an instant, the consciousness of a mid-stage divine guard was completely released by Lin Ray. He used his divine sense to scan the surroundings. Just like before, it was a gray, hazy area filled with an aura of death. There were no living creatures at all. Linli was somewhat disappointed by this, but he didn't let down his guard. He knew that if Zhu Yu spoke of danger, then it definitely was. Lin Ray doubted that he had the ability to misinterpret the system's meaning. After all, the system's strength was there for all to see. Be careful. If that wasn't the first floor, then this is. We have to be very careful. In a while, stick close to my back and don't stray too far from me. I have already set up a formation on your bodies. If you stick together, you will be affected by a joint formation. This formation is at least at the Grandmaster level. Not even a divine emperor can break it. Even a divine ancestor would have to think twice before breaking it. As for a divine sovereign? Do you think I don't know? Got it. Lu Ying and the others nodded. However, she was very worried about Lin Ray. Although the two of them had a cold war, they were still husband and wife. Brother Lei, you have to be careful. Hearing his wife's words of concern, Lin Ray's face revealed a trace of a smile, and then he nodded, I know. You should also be careful. If you really encounter danger later, I may not be able to protect you, so you must protect yourself, understand? At this moment, Lin Tian and his male brother couldn't take it anymore when they saw the two of them flaunting their love for each other. Brother Lei, that's enough. Can't you see that there are two people standing there? We are very hurt by your actions, Speaking of this, the young man put on an act and covered his chest with his hand, looking as if his heart was in pain. Lu Ying, who was beside him, burst out laughing. Hee. Lin Ray looked at them and said sternly, "Be quiet. Life's smile will happen here at any time. If you keep acting like this, I'm going to put you away." Lu Ying and the others instantly quieted down when they heard what Lin Ray said. Nobody dared to say a word. "Alright, let's go." Regarding this, Lin Ray didn't say anything. His divine sense was constantly monitoring them, not allowing them to leave his sight. He also held the Chaos Dragon Spear in his hand and the Azura Spear Art on standby, ready to deal with all kinds of unexpected situations. The deeper they went, the heavier the pressure Lin Ray and the others felt. Regarding this, Lin Ray became more serious. "Be careful, there might be," at this moment, just as Lin Ray reminded Lin Tian, a huge gust of death aura suddenly condensed into a sharp sword and appeared beside Lin Tian. The sword was very long. If they were really pierced by it, then the three of them would undoubtedly die under the sword. This happened so suddenly that Lin Ray didn't dare to think too much. The moment the sword appeared, Lin Ray, who was holding the Chaos Dragon Spear, also moved at the same time. A huge amount of spiritual energy drove the Azura Spear Art and instantly collided with the tip of the sword made of death aura. With a bang sound, a shockwave blasted outwards. Before Lin Tian and the other two could even react, the shockwave from the collision between Lin Li and the long sword had sent them flying far away before stopping. Lin Ray, who had been sensing their movements, turned his head and roared at them, "Be careful. The surrounding death aura can form a sword. Their power can't be underestimated." With that, Lin Ray turned around and looked at the sword that was confronting him. His eyes were filled with murderous intent, and a majestic hidden force instantly flowed into the spear. Kacha! Like glass breaking, the long sword made of death energy shattered and disintegrated. In the end, it merged back into the death energy. Huh! Sensing this, Lin Ray's heart was filled with fear. If this was really the case, then the surrounding death aura might, bang, just as he thought about this, a feeling of death suddenly came from behind him. Relying on his intuition, Lin Ray instantly waved his spear again without hesitation. With hidden force in it, he used the Azura Spear Art to instantly destroy the sword that came from behind him. Phew! Damn, his imagination just now was confirmed. Instantly, cold sweat dripped down Lin Ray's face. When he thought about how this place was filled with death aura and how that scene could happen at any time and anywhere, Lin Ray immediately rushed to Lu Ying's side. "Air, why don't the three of you go back first? The situation in my heart is very bad. It'd be fine if I was alone, but I really don't have any extra energy to protect you guys." I know." Before Lin Ray could finish speaking, Lu Ying reached out and covered Lin Ray's bottom. His eyes were filled with worry as he said, "We'll go back, but you have to come back safely. As long as you're at a safe place, you have to let me see you. Is that okay?" Hearing this, Lin Ray was in a bit of a difficult position. Just as he was about to refuse, Lu Ying's voice was heard again. "Don't refuse. As a wife, this is my only request because I'm worried about my husband." Once this was said, Lin Ray couldn't refuse anymore. He had no reason to refuse. "Okay, I understand. As long as we're at a safe place, I'll let you out." Seeing that Lin Ray agreed, Lu Ying stood there and nodded. Then he closed his eyes and kissed Lin Ray on the lips as a goodbye kiss. In the next moment, Lin Ray didn't waste any more words. He wrapped his divine sense around them and with a thought, he instantly sent them into the system. Instantly, the moment they disappeared, Lin Ray's heart relaxed a lot. Perhaps he didn't have to worry about their safety anymore. Come on. I want to see just how powerful you are. Aren't you small? I don't care. Lin Li, who no longer had to worry about their safety, had completely let loose. He instantly unleashed his cultivation base, his peak late immortal grade body, his mid-immortal grade body, and his mid-immortal grade cultivation base. The divine artifacts on his body were also extremely powerful. At this moment, Linley was like an ancient war god. His body was hovering in the air, the chaotic dragon spear in his hand. The soul of the azure dragon of the ninth heavens had already appeared behind him. This was the first time Linley had gone all out against an enemy since he arrived in the divine realm. Come, then. Let me see just how powerful you are. Linley, who had prepared everything, let out a provocative roar towards the sky. Whoosh, whoosh, just as Linley roared, dozens of longswords formed from deathly aura suddenly shot towards Linley from afar. This time, the longswords were filled with a sharp sword aura, as though they wanted to slay Linley as soon as possible. Humph, good one. Lin Ray wasn't afraid in the slightest. He waved his hand and the souls of the nine heavens azure dragons behind him charged towards the longswords. Death aura and dragon might collided. It was a scene rarely seen in one's life. Perhaps not even those old fogies in the divine world had seen it. Aoo, the nine heavens azure dragons roared. Each of the dragons possessed terrifying might. They looked at the longswords with disdain. In an instant, the dragon's soul arrived beside the longswords, stretched out its dragon claws, grabbed the longswords, and shattered them. With a sweep of its tail, the longswords shattered and dissipated in the air, fusing with the death aura once again. Seeing this, Linley's head began to hurt. There was no spiritual energy here. If things continued like this, his own spiritual energy wouldn't be able to support him. Linley was in a dilemma. How exactly do I leave? With the dragon souls surrounding him, Lin Ray wasn't worried at all. Then, he began to think. He didn't want to continue like this. The death aura here was endless. He didn't want to be exhausted to death. Then, Lin Ray took the initiative. In an instant, he accumulated enough energy and found a direction. He didn't care if there was danger in that direction and flew towards it quickly. As for the draconic souls of the 9 azure dragons, Linley didn't call them back either. As Linley flew, they protected him. In addition, as Linley flew, the number of deaths of those black azure dragons increased exponentially. Lin Ray was shocked by this scene. This wasn't a good thing, but he didn't have any other thoughts about it. His only thought now was to leave this place and find the entrance to the second floor. Moreover, what shocked Lin Ray was that not only was there no spiritual energy in this place, but the consumption of spiritual energy was also exponential. Along the way, he basically didn't save the spiritual energy in his body. So, when he felt the spiritual energy in his body at this moment, he regretted it. At this moment, more than half of the spiritual energy in his body had been consumed. Looking at the boundless space in front of him, Linley hurriedly stopped. Instantly, he began to arrange a kind of powerful offensive and defensive formation of the small pill formation, which he had just promoted to the level of a grandmaster. This was the only thing he could think of now. At the same time, he also quickly thought of the rules here. Otherwise, he would lose his life here. Heaven and earth, I am the medium, the incantation is the auxiliary, the heaven and earth are the cage, and the death aura is the foundation. Trap and kill formation, complete. In an instant, according to the arrangement method of the trap and kill formation, Lin Ray directly displayed it without hesitation. Although this was an emperor-level formation, its offensive and defensive power was huge. At this moment, Lin Ray was a grandmaster-level formation master. So, the power of the trap and kill formation set up at this moment could be imagined. Chapter 542. The trap and kill array was successfully set up. The death aura within a radius of 5 miles was all blocked outside by the array set up by Lin Ray. Phew, looking at the death aura separated by the array, Lin Ray breathed a sigh of relief and relaxed a little. TSK, what should I do? Although he relaxed a little, if the problem in front of him was not solved as soon as possible, he was afraid that he would be trapped here. 10 years, 50 years, maybe 100 years. He believed that 100 years was not a problem. After all, there were a lot of spirit stones in the ring, but was he going to stay here all this time? This question had been wandering in Lin Rei's mind. He didn't know how he could get out. Since he came in, he had been observing, but he couldn't find any place with an array. Moreover, the system had said before that there was a huge restriction here, but he hadn't found anything so far. Sigh. If only the little dragon was here. Subconsciously, when he looked at the difficulties before the new year without any thoughts, the figure of the little dragon couldn't help but appear in his mind. But thinking that the little dragon was cultivating, he gave up the idea of looking for the little dragon. And he wanted to get out with his own strength, not with the help of others. However, just as Linley was pondering this, not too far away, Liao Yuning, who had been following closely behind him, had her hair disheveled and her clothes disheveled. There were many cuts on her body, and blood was flowing out from her wounds. And at this moment, if Lin Rei saw the scene at this moment, he would be stunned. It was none other than the long sword formed by the death aura. It was dozens of times more than his just now. Lin Rei couldn't imagine this kind of density. Humph, brat, what are you doing here? At this moment, the brat mentioned by Liao Yuning was undoubtedly Linley. When she stepped into the first layer of the land of death, she felt that something was wrong, but when she saw that the spell she cast at the cost of her own cultivation showed that Linley had already entered, she immediately chased after him worriedly. However, just as he was about to enter, a long sword suddenly shot out. She, who had been on high alert all this while, managed to block it. However, it was over for her. More and more black long swords rushed out, and there was no sign of them being used. She was completely exhausted. What was even more frightening was that she had already lost most of her spirit chi. If she couldn't get out, the final result would be obvious. She would die, and she would become one with this place. Whoosh whoosh, when Liao Yuning defeated all the swords around her, she could have rested for a while. She would have consumed a lot of spiritual power and divine sense. However, the long swords here were like leeks. She cut them one after another. There was no end. Looking at the long swords rushing towards her, Liao Yuning didn't waste any more time. Instead, she sped up and rushed towards the red line. As for those black longswords that were attacking her, they didn't want to give up at all. In this regard, Liao Yuning could only join in the flight. Otherwise, if those longswords caught up with her, it was inevitable that there would be a wave of battle. Although he had damaged his own cultivation base, he was still an early god king. His flying speed was much faster than Linley's, but because of the aura of death, his speed was reduced. Still, compared to Linley, he was much faster. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was sitting in the death trap formation, suddenly frowned. He raised his head and looked in the direction where he had come from. He was confused. Just a moment ago, when Lin Rei was thinking of a solution, he suddenly sensed a familiar chi. Although it was weak, Lin Rei sensed it with his divine sense. However, he didn't see anyone in that direction, so he thought it was an illusion. However, when Lin Rei withdrew his divine sense, he sensed another familiar chi. This time, the feeling was even stronger. The first time, it could be an illusion, but the second time, it wasn't. Then, Lin Rei looked in that direction. He stared at the direction where he had come from. He wanted to see who it was. Swoosh. A ray of light instantly shot out from the gray death aura. When he saw that ray of light, Linley's heart suddenly jolted. He said to himself in disbelief, how could it be her? That person was none other than Liao Yuning. Not only did Lin Rei see her, Liao Yuning also sensed Lin Rei's presence. I've finally found you. Seeing Linley's location, Liao Yuning was overjoyed. She immediately rushed towards Linley's location at high speed, not stopping at all. F***ck, it can't be. At this moment, Lin Rei frowned when he saw Liao Yuning rushing towards him. If it was just her, Lin Rei could accept it. However, when he saw the long black swords chasing after her, Lin Rei couldn't help but take a step back, as if he wanted to refuse. Right now, behind Liao Yuning's back, there wasn't just one or two swords, nor was there 100. There were over 1,000 swords, densely packed together. Faced with such a powerful attack, Linley was truly afraid that the formation he had set up wouldn't be able to withstand it. Of course, it was not that Lin Rei was not confident, but that even a divine emperor would be chased, not to mention that he was only a middle-stage divine guard. In the blink of an eye, Liao Yuning arrived not far from Linley. Seeing that there were no long swords around Linley, Liao Yuning smiled and rushed into the range of Linley's formation without thinking. Don't! Seeing Liao Yuning charge into his formation, Linley wanted to stop her, but before he could say anything, it was already too late. Liao Yuning had already entered the formation. Looking at this idiot, Linley really wanted to give her a tight slap. Even an idiot could tell that there was no aura of death around him. There had to be a reason for that. Who would have thought that she would? At this moment, Liao Yuning, who had entered the trap and kill formation, also felt regretful. She had felt that there was something wrong. But she didn't expect that. Linley's entire body was surrounded by formations. Gotcha! At this moment, in the formation, the sky was dark, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Each of the lightning bolts carried a strong offensive power. Even though she was an early divine emperor, she felt that if she was hit by one of the lightning bolts, it would be a painful lesson for her. Damn, this guy. However, at this moment, Liao Yuning had put all the blame on Lin Rei. Everything, including the matter of being chased by the long swords, was also put on Lin Rei. Fortunately, Lin Rei didn't know about it. If he knew, he might not have saved her. However, Liao Yuning was there to break the formation. The formation was broken by thousands of long swords. Lin Rei had a headache facing this kind of attack from both inside and outside. Humph, this prodigal woman only knows how to make trouble for me. Seeing that the formation was getting weaker and weaker, Lin Rei had to let Liao Yuning out. Otherwise, he really didn't know how long his formation could last. The next moment, Lin Rei's figure instantly disappeared from the formation eye and quickly came to where Liao Yuning was. Without waiting for her response, he immediately hugged her waist and flashed back to the formation eye in an instant. Of course, Lin Rei didn't stop there. He let go of Liao Yuning and waved his hand. Suddenly, a small mountain of top-grade spiritual stones appeared. Mysterious seals were injected into the top-grade spiritual stones in an instant. Liao Yuning didn't even have time to react and fell into a daze again. This guy knows how to set up a formation. With a look of doubt, disbelief, she watched Linley condense one mysterious seal after another and insert it into the top-grade spirit stone. She was deeply shocked by Linley. As for Lin Rei, he had no chance at all. Liao Yuning, who was next to him, was very anxious when he saw the energy of his trap and kill formation being weakened little by little. Please don't. At least you know that I don't only want the formation. You can also break it. At this time, Lin Rei could only pray that the trap and kill formation wouldn't be broken at this time. At least, he had to wait until another formation appeared. Just like that, the current Linley had already begun to race against time. The process was extremely intense, and every second was a race against time. Seeing that the formation was being weakened little by little, Lin Rei was very anxious. After a long time, there were still a lot of spiritual stones in front of him. However, there was still a long time to set up the formation. Lin Rei couldn't help but throw out the chaotic dragon spear directly. Kill them. With a murderous sentence, the 9 azure dragon souls in the chaotic void spear rushed out instantly and began to attack the thousands of long swords. Liao Yuning, who was surprised by the sight, was even more shocked. She had never seen such a weapon with a dragon soul. At this moment, her curiosity about Lin Rei was even deeper. Oh, what secrets do you have on you? You are so mysterious. You can give me a different feeling every time. As she thought about this, her gaze had never left Linley's body. As for Linley, he was currently hurriedly forming hand seals. Clanging sounds could be heard from within the formation. Sensing that the rate at which the formation was being worn down had slowed down, Linley's anxious heart finally relaxed quite a bit. Heaven and earth pseudo-sound, spiritual stones as the foundation, imperial rain formation, form. Time passed by little. Finally, the moment all the spiritual stones were engraved with seals, the spell that had been prepared for a long time was instantly cast. The hill-like top-grade spiritual stones instantly surrounded Lin Rei and Liao Yuning. Suddenly, an invisible restriction appeared in an instant. Peng, Kacha, however, the moment the formation was formed, the previously arranged trap and kill formation was broken. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out from Lin Rei's mouth. Liao Yuning, who was behind, felt Lin Rei's action and wanted to come forward to help him, but she was rejected by Lin Rei. No need, you take care of yourself. While speaking, Lin Rei used his spirit energy. The place with his blood on the ground was dug out by Lin Rei. When Liao Yuning wasn't paying attention, he put it into the system. Chapter 543. You. I can't be bothered with you. Liao Yuning was furious when she saw that Lin Rei didn't care about her. She turned around and ignored Lin Rei. Haha. Lin Rei smiled bitterly when he saw Liao Yuning behind him. He wiped the blood off his mouth and walked to the Chaos Dragon Spear. He grabbed the Chaos Dragon Spear tightly in his hand. The formation that Lin Rei set up could be moved. Although he didn't know how long it could last, this was the only way. There was no other way. Originally, he could be alone and go wherever he wanted. But now, there was an additional burden. He was helpless. He turned around and asked Liao Yuning, "Why are you here? Aren't you going to participate in the Tendo competition?" "How dare you say that?" Liao Yuning turned around angrily when she heard Lin Rei's question. She said to Lin Rei, "Didn't you promise my brother? Why did you leave without saying goodbye? Do you know how sad my brother is? Isn't it inappropriate for you to do this?" Lin Rei was stunned when he heard Liao Yuning's words. Then, he felt awkward. His previous decision conflicted with Liao Jun's matter. So, then why are you here? Aren't you going to participate in the Tendo competition? Lin Rei didn't want to linger on this topic. He quickly changed the topic. But it didn't mean that Liao Yuning didn't want to. Liao Yuning, who knew Lin Rei's thoughts, changed the topic again. "I want to participate, but you made my brother sad. My brother has been my treasure since he was young. No one can bully him. You made him sad, so I'm here." Lin Rei felt that something was wrong. When he thought of the words, "I'm here," Lin Rei was surprised. He asked, "Yes, you're here. So?" Seeing Lin Rei playing dumb, Liao Yuning rolled her eyes and said, "I'm here to take you back, and then we'll settle the matter between you and my brother." When she spoke up to hear, Liao Yuning was about to step forward and attack. At this moment, Lin Rei was helpless. "Hey, you're being unreasonable. I still have proper business to attend to. You can go back first. It just so happens that this formation is still effective. It should be able to hold on until you return. As for your younger brother, I can only apologize. Of course, if you insist on an explanation, I'll personally make a trip to the Falling Star Pavilion after I'm done with my business." After saying that, Lin Rei didn't intend to pay any more attention to him. He didn't know how long his array formation could last. Looking at the swords outside desperately attacking his array formation, Lin Rei felt a chill run down his spine. "No, I have to follow you. What if you run away again?" Seeing that Lin Rei was about to leave, Liao Yuning saw the swords outside the array formation. Because of the trauma from before, how could she leave at this moment? After saying that, Liao Yuning quickly walked to Lin Rei and reached out to grab Lin Rei's arm, not letting him leave her. Looking at her, Lin Rei really didn't know whether to say that he was unlucky or unlucky. Why did he meet her? After that, Lin Rei persuaded her to leave as soon as possible before she went too far. But in the end, Lin Rei was defeated. Liao Yuning had made up her mind to not leave even if she was beaten to death. Looking at the shameless Liao Yuning, Lin Rui's understanding of her changed again. Bam! 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 Along the way, the sound of the swords hitting the array formation formed a beautiful sound that made Lin Rui happy, but at the same time, he was afraid of this sound. Because as long as this sound was heard for a while, the spirit stones around them in the air would shatter into pieces with a bang. Although the spirit stones were different, there would always be a day when they would be completely destroyed. What should he do next? Up to this point, Lin Rui still couldn't think of anything. Liao Yuning next to him looked around in surprise, as if this matter had nothing to do with her. In this regard, Lin Rui had the thought of leaving her alone for a moment. Looking at her indifferent look, Lin Rui really didn't know what to say. Time passed by little by little. For this journey, Lin Rui finally knew what it meant to be mentally exhausted. But every time he thought that he would soon be able to go to the ghost realm to save his wife and children, the feeling of exhaustion in his heart would disappear, and he would be refreshed again. Bam! 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 Not knowing how much time had passed, just when Lin Rui thought that the array formation above his head could still hold on for a few more days, suddenly there was a burst of 2 bangs, and all the spirit stones exploded at this moment. Damn, what's going on? This kind of situation happened. Lin Rui really didn't expect it. At this moment, they didn't have time to think about it. The moment the array formation was broken, the long swords that were outside attacking the array formation rushed toward Lin Rui and the others effortlessly. Looking at the long swords that were full of murderous intent, Lin Rui didn't have time to think. In an instant, the hand that was holding the Chaos Dragon Spear tightly waved quickly, while the other hand waved the Star Finger, the Sky-Raising Palm, and various spells. Lin Rui used the combat technique to the extreme, and even all the divine artifacts in his body were released to resist the long swords that rushed to him. Thousands of spear tips attacked at the same time. One could imagine how exciting the scene was. And what was more exciting was that the moment the long swords condensed by the death chi were broken by Lin Rui, they condensed again. In this regard, Lin Rui was full of helplessness. Damn, when will this end? He complained, but the long spear in his hand and the various combat techniques didn't stop. At this moment, Lin Rui deeply felt that the spiritual chi in his body was quickly disappearing. No, I have to think of a way quickly. Then, when he felt that the spiritual chi was disappearing, Lin Rui would take out the elixir that he had refined before to recover his spiritual chi. After eating it, he would be restored to his peak again. However, it was only the spiritual chi, and mental strength wasn't that easy to recover. At this moment, although Mo Liao Yuning's combat strength was very wild before, in the end, she had used too much spiritual chi, which caused her cultivation to decrease, and the power of her combat techniques was greatly reduced. Do you have any more elixirs that can recover spiritual chi? Of course, she knew about the elixir that Lin Rui had taken just now. When the spiritual chi in her body was almost depleted, she could only put down her pride and ask Lin Rui. I have it, but I have no reason to give it to you. I said before that you should leave quickly, but you shamelessly followed me in. You can't blame me for this. This is the law of survival in this world. The fittest survive, and the fittest are eliminated. Since you have no ability, it means, looking at Liao Yuning, whose spiritual chi was about to be exhausted, Lin Rui couldn't help but scare her when he thought of her shameless appearance before. Sure enough, the moment Lin Rui finished speaking, Liao Yuning's face darkened, and her heart was dead. With a helpless smile, she turned around and continued to fight with the long spear, using the weak spiritual chi in her body to resist it. Ha! Looking at Liao Yuning's appearance, Lin Rui smiled and waved the chaotic dragon spear in his hand. 9 azure dragons instantly appeared and rushed to Liao Yuning's side to protect her. At this moment, Lin Rui took out a bottle of elixir and handed it to her, saying, "Eat this. This bottle of elixir is enough for you to get out. After you get out, don't come in again. I will do what I told you before." After I get out, I will definitely go back to the Falling Star Pavilion. After speaking, Lin Rei directly turned around and continued to fight. The current battle wasn't completely without benefits. For example, the current battle had begun to help him solve the problem of the unstable foundation caused by his rapid cultivation. Come on, let the storm come more violently. Feeling this, Lin Rei became even crazier. He concealed his body's power, leaving only the function of defense. Then, he released his cultivation. As an intermediate stage cultivator, he began to wield the long spear in his hand to fight. The so-called edge of life and death was walking on the edge of life and death. Wasn't this the case at this moment? As for Liao Yuning, when she heard Lin Rei's words, her eyes were filled with joy. Then, she opened the bottle of elixir, took out an elixir and swallowed it. Instantly, the elixir melted in her mouth and turned into a huge amount of spiritual energy that surged into her Dan Palace. It began to nourish the previously withered Dan Palace. Phew, Liao Yuning, who was cleansed by the spiritual energy, let out a comfortable moan. Looking at the spiritual energy recovering bit by bit, the battle intent in her eyes soared again. You want me to leave? Dream on. At this moment, when Liao Yuning recovered, she looked at Lin Rei who was fighting and said firmly in her heart. However, he still didn't know the words in Liao Yuning's heart. If he knew, he would definitely be angered to death. As time passed, the spiritual energy in Lin Rei's body was almost depleted. Without stopping, he directly grabbed a handful of elixirs and stuffed them into his mouth. He didn't care what kind of elixir it was. Instantly, the elixir melted in his mouth and turned into pure energy. The injuries he suffered before, whether it was internal injuries or internal injuries, were quickly recovering. As for the spiritual energy that he had consumed, it was now back to its peak. Although the swords attacking him could combine infinitely, he realized that the speed of these swords combining was much slower than before. Noticing this change, Lin Rei laughed in his heart. Then, he put in more effort to attack. At this moment, Lin Rei's floating cultivation base was completely restored. The strength that allowed him to kill people above his level was finally back. Previously, he wasn't familiar with the martial god tactics of the unfettered freedom sword technique. During the battle just now, Lin Rei had a slight understanding of it. Therefore, it wasn't because of the system, but because of Lin Rei himself. Come on, I'll let you guys have a taste of this sovereign's new battle technique, the martial god tactics. Lin Rei raised his spear. In an instant, one spear turned into 10, 10 into 100, and 100 into 1,000. The moment the spear appeared, the surrounding space began to tremble. Chapter 544. Destroy. As soon as the word destroy was uttered, it instantly turned into hundreds and thousands of chaos dragon spears, driving the surrounding space. In an instant, everything in the space enveloped by the spears was wiped out, leaving nothing behind. Liao Yuning saw the scene of Lin Rei using the battle technique and was shocked. After a while, she said that she had never seen such a terrifying battle technique in her entire life. Martial god battle technique, everything in the space enveloped by it, including the death aura, was instantly turned into ashes, leaving nothing behind. Seeing that the battle technique he used was so powerful, Lin Rei couldn't help but thank the little dragon from the bottom of his heart, because this battle technique was given to him by the little dragon. But soon, the war god stratagem disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. Soon, the sealed space was reactivated, and the deathly aura poured in, filling up the space once more. Lin Li felt quite helpless about this, and he didn't know what to do about it. Martial god battle technique wasn't an ordinary battle technique, so it couldn't be used continuously. Just this one time alone had consumed more than half of the spiritual energy in his body that had just recovered. If he used it again, he was afraid that he would only be waiting to be slaughtered. Seeing the death aura rushing towards him again, Lin Rei didn't have the chance to look at Liao Yuning. Since he had already given her the pill, the rest was up to her. Using his cultivation, he found a direction and quickly rushed in that direction. But in the instant that Lin Li left, Liao Yuning recovered. Looking at Lin Rei who disappeared, her eyes were filled with grief. "Humph, just you wait. How dare you leave me behind and run away?" What she couldn't do was that at this moment, the secret technique that damaged her cultivation had disappeared, so she could only rely on her feelings to find the direction and then leave. In the outside world, Death Canyon was originally one of the forbidden areas in Danzhou, or even the entire God Realm. However, not long after the martial arts conference ended, suddenly, a gust of death aura rushed to the God Realm. Suddenly, a strange phenomenon appeared, and the infected spiritual energy began to spread in all directions. Although the death aura wasn't strong, it was something that gave everyone a headache. The appearance of the death aura was reported to the sect. Suddenly, one by one, the news spread. In less than a month, the entire God Realm knew about the Death Canyon. Although Death Canyon was listed as a forbidden area, they still felt that this place was not simple. Now that the phenomenon had appeared, how could they just stand by and watch? Immediately after, all the major sects sent their elite disciples to the Death Canyon in Danzhou to investigate. However, the main culprit, Lin Rei, naturally didn't know. It was because he had used the martial god stratagem to stir up space and let some death aura into the God Realm. At this moment, Lin Rei had already fled far away. During this period of time, he had truly experienced what it meant to be on the run. Not a single day was peaceful. Every day was a battle. Over the past few days, the floating cultivation base had completely filled up. There were no longer any signs of it floating together. And over the past few days, he didn't see Liao Yuning again. His ears were much calmer, but the danger was not over yet. According to the system, there was a powerful existence on every level. So far, that thing hadn't appeared yet. Perhaps it had already appeared long ago, but he just hadn't seen it. In the next few days, Lin Li continued to aimlessly explore the unknown path ahead of him. Occasionally, longswords would appear, but they were no longer of any threat to Lin Li. However, just as Lin Rei was moving forward, there was a sudden sound of something breaking through the air. Subconsciously, Lin Rei dodged. At this moment, it had become a habit. If he didn't have this habit, he would have been long gone. After dodging, Lin Rei came to the side and saw that it was still a sword. However, this time, there was something that Lin Rei had seen before hanging on the sword. It was an earring and a medicine bottle. That medicine bottle was the one that he had given to Liao Yuning before. If it was something else, it wouldn't be a big deal. However, the medicine bottle was obtained from the system, so it was impossible for him to mistake it. Seeing the medicine bottle and the sword, Lin Rei realized that Liao Yuning was in danger. "Tell me, where is she?" Lin Rei didn't believe that the sword didn't know. Sure enough, the moment he finished asking, the sword turned around and rushed forward. In this regard, Lin Rei could only helplessly follow. No matter whether there was danger ahead or not, although Liao Yuning was annoying, they were acquaintances after all. No matter what, he couldn't leave her in the lurch. Looking at the sword in front of him. While flying, Lin Li began to store up energy, in case he needed it in the future. After moving forward for quite some time, the sword finally came to a stop. Lin Li noticed that the aura of death here was much denser than the aura of death at the place he'd been at before. Lin Li became cautious towards this. As the saying went, there was more abnormal than evil, let alone in this place. The chaotic dragon spear appeared in his hand. Martial God had secretly prepared a plan. As long as freedom was in danger, he wouldn't hesitate to use the combat method. "Huh, you're really not simple." Just as Lin Rei was looking around vigilantly, a gloomy laugh was heard. Then, Lin Rei looked in the direction of the voice. However, because of the death aura, Lin Rei couldn't see anything at all. As for his divine sense, Lin Rei's divine sense had become blind since he arrived here. "Tell me, who are you? Why did you lead me here? Also, where is Liao Yuning?" Hand her over. He asked a series of questions with an impatient look on his face. However, the person in the dark didn't get angry. Instead, he laughed. Hee, all right, I can give that woman to you. However, you have to obediently become my battle slave. What? Hearing the mysterious voice, Lin Ray's heart was filled with anger. Although Lin Ray didn't know who this person was, he knew very well what a battle slave meant. It was the lowest kind of hard work. Most importantly, this kind of battle slave could only sign an unequal contract. Lin Ray didn't agree to this. Who do you think you are? You want me to be your battle slave? Why don't you take a look at where you are? And you, I haven't seen your face until now. Do you think I'll be your battle slave just because you said so? Who do you think I, Lin Ray, am? After saying that, Lin Ray symbolically took 2 steps forward. He wanted to see the other person's face. Unfortunately, he failed in the end. You should know that those who have seen me are all dead. Do you think you can see me? The key is that I don't want you to die. Lin Li frowned as he listened to the man's nagging. He didn't waste any more words. He could tell that the other party didn't want to hand over the person. Therefore, it was pointless to continue waiting. Martial God Stratagem. In an instant, the Chaos Dragon Spear was placed horizontally in front of Lin Ray's chest. Martial God Stratagem was activated. The surrounding space began to tremble violently. The Chaos Dragon Spear also began to change. 1 turned into 100, 100 turned into 1,000, and 1,000 turned into 10,000. Suddenly, there was nothing in the entire space except for the Chaos Dragon Spear. Although I don't know what you are, I advise you to hand over the woman as soon as possible. Otherwise, I will let you know what it means to mess with a lion. After saying that, Martial God Stratagem was activated instantly. Tens of thousands of spears materialized and rushed towards the place where the voice came from. You want to hurt me with such a small stratagem? You think too highly of. After hearing what the mysterious person said, Lin Ray suddenly felt uneasy. However, when he heard the other party suddenly stop halfway through his sentence, Lin Ray was delighted. He felt that there was a chance. Whoosh, 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 with Lin Ray as the center, the spears instantly shot towards the ward in all directions. There wasn't a single blind spot. Lin Ray didn't believe that the other party wouldn't appear. At this moment, all the deathly aura in the places that were attacked by Martial God Stratagem ended up being destroyed. Pooh! Not long after, the sound of blood being spat out could be heard. Instantly, Lin Ray was delighted. Although he didn't see the appearance of the mysterious person in the attack just now, at least his attack was effective against him. That was enough. Taking advantage of the victory, Lin Ray didn't stop. Another wave of Martial God Stratagem rushed out. This time, Lin Ray used all the spiritual energy in his body. The moment he attacked, Lin Ray lost the support of his spiritual energy and was powerless to stay in the air. Instantly, his body fell rapidly. Fortunately, Lin Ray's physical body was strong. Falling 200 meters was nothing to him. Just as his body was about to hit the ground, he leaped into the air and made a perfect turn. Finally, he landed gracefully on the ground. In an instant, the moment Lin Ray disappeared, he took out the pill that he had already prepared and swallowed it. His withered Dan palace was instantly nourished by the spiritual energy. The pale face that was caused by using Martial God Stratagem disappeared at this moment. It returned to normal. The space was quiet before. Even after Lin Ray's attack for a long time, there was still no movement. Therefore, he was even more vigilant. The relaxed attitude from before had disappeared. Such a small attack can hurt me. Should I say that you're too naive or too stupid? At this moment, a voice sounded. Accompanying it was Liao Yuning. What surprised Lin Ray was that the person who spoke was Liao Yuning. However, Liao Yuning's aura was very gloomy. She gave him the feeling that she was a dead person who had been up for a long time and had just crawled back up. Looking at Lin Rei's suspicious, puzzled, unfamiliar, and disbelieving expression, Liao Yuning was amused. Ha ha ha, her laughter was filled with coldness. Looking at Liao Yuning, who was standing in front of him, Lin Rei asked with a gloomy voice, "Speak, who are you?" Hearing that person's reply, Lin Rei confirmed his thoughts. Liao Yuning was possessed. Otherwise, that person wouldn't have answered his demonic words. "I forgot. But others call me Soul Devourer. If you want to call me that, I don't mind." Seeing that Liao Yuning thought for a while before answering, Lin Rei went silent. Soul Devourer's name was very evil. Those who could be called by this name were generally not good people. "Speak, how can I get out of her body? What do you want? Or do you want—" No. Lin Rei didn't know what he could give Soul Devourer. But in order to not hurt Liao Yuning, Lin Rei could only give him as much as he wanted. However, just as Lin Rei was about to speak, Soul Devourer interrupted Lin Rei and shook his head. "I don't want anything from you. I don't need your help. As you can see, I'm the king here. And as you can see, very few people can survive my death domain. You're the first. If it weren't for you, this little girl would have already become a sample of my death domain," Soul Devourer said as he looked at his current body. Then, he lifted his head and glared at Lin Rei. "What domain? You mean?" At this moment, Lin Rei seemed to have heard an earth-shattering news. Domain. Lin Rei was no stranger to this word. He had seen it before. For example, Lu Yunhan's domain of ice. What surprised Lin Rei was that he had been comprehending the domain of ice for such a long time. Lin Rei turned around to look at the aura of death around him. Instantly, Lin Rei was even more astonished. If this was a domain, how big would it be? You don't have to be so astonished. Soul Eater sneered at Lin Li's appearance. "My domain is not the domain of you cultivators. Your domain is merely a small part of my domain. However, what I am curious about is that you, a puny ant who does not possess a domain and is only a mid-stage divine guard, is still alive. I am very curious to know what secrets you have." Lin Li's expression changed. Soul Eater sneered at Lin Li. After saying that, Soul Devourer walked towards Lin Rei step by step. The instant Soul Devourer approached Lin Rei, over 10,000 black swords suddenly appeared behind Lin Rei and locked him in place, not allowing him to retreat even half an inch. Lin Rei's back was drenched in cold sweat. Looking at the 10,000 black swords behind him, Lin Rei couldn't help but gulp. His face was filled with horror. He really didn't know what else he could do at this moment. He couldn't understand everything that had happened before. Clearly, Soul Devourer said that there were 6 floors in this place. But now, the first floor was indeed a person's domain. Then, just as Soul Devourer was about to reach him, a trace of struggle suddenly appeared in Soul Devourer's eyes. Immediately after, Liao Yuning's voice sounded. "Bastard, hurry up and leave." What are you doing here? Hurry, shut up and be quiet. Otherwise, I will devour you and make you a part of my domain." Soul Devourer's voice was filled with menace when Liao Yuning's body stopped moving. At this moment, Lin Rei's heart was filled with warmth when he heard Liao Yuning's reminder. But how could he possibly escape in this situation? He had entered the tiger's den without knowing it. Now that he had entered the end, how could he possibly escape? At this moment, Liao Yuning's soul was once again suppressed. Soul Devourer regained control of Liao Yuning's body and continued walking towards Lin Rei. "Speak. What secrets do you have that allowed you to change the location of your death aura? And what surprised me the most is that you have such a powerful Kuei treasure." While speaking, Soul Devourer fixed his eyes on the Chaos Dragon Spear in Lin Rei's hand. "You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.